Hello, everyone. Apparently, we are live. Let me know if you can hear me properly and if there's any problems with the audio, that would be appreciated. Welcome to the stream. Do I have to click go live on YouTube? That's another
I think so, because it's still counting down.
Oh, okay, I
I'm
see.
looking at it.
It's live on YouTube.
Are we live on YouTube?
Yeah.
Well, hello, everyone. So this is the Secret Harbour by-election, apparently. And I'm here with Anglo Election Insights and also guest starring, once again, Heath Clark. So welcome back to the stream, Mr. Clark.
Thank you very much. Nice to be here.
So I have a confession to make. I didn't actually watch your most recent video, Max. So you'll have to...
Shame.
I ran out of time. I'm sorry. I had a nap instead. So you'll have to tell me what your prediction was for this by-election.
I'd have to probably go and find the screenshot to recall the exact primaries, but I have One Nation slightly in front on a two-candidate preferred basis, like within 1%.
Okay.
I have the Liberals pretty low as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of feel like they could actually outperform that.
Yeah, totally.
Like
They're
15%
definitely
instead of
outperformed
13.
Australia.
Yeah. In some seats, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you got any like thoughts yourself, Eli?
Okay, great. They can hear me. Okay. Okay. So I really thought that this was a shoe-in for Labor. I thought Labor would be fine. You know, One Nation would do well. But Labor would be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But then we have like the betting market saying that One Nation's going to win, right? Or some of the betting markets. It's a little bit like 50-50, right?
It is.
And then we have what did you think the TPP was going to be, Max?
I thought it would be like One Nation 50.5 or 51%, somewhere around there.
So One Nation, you think One Nation's going to win, and then also the viewers also think One Nation's going to win. So because we've got a poll here, 74% One Nation, Labor 20, someone else, which is just people mucking around 6%. So a good three quarters of you at least, or around more than 3/4 of you think that One Nation is going to win, which is amazing. I did not expect that. I didn't expect this would happen. And I still can't believe it. I still think Labor. I still think Labor's going to win, but I haven't been following this closely. I've stepped back from politics the last couple of weeks, especially.
And it's also Western Australia as well, when it's just like, just for a lot of, commentators, there's not many. I don't know if there's a single political influence or anything of the type in Western Australia like that is kind of nationally known, and it's just also just far away in the West. No one really pays attention to the West.
So I should probably just look at the this was last election, right? What One Nation get? 8.4%, Liberal 25%, Labor 46.9%. So I mean, it just seems like this kind of area, right? I mean, I get it. It's like outer suburban and stuff like that. Like, what is this? Mostly white people. So I mean,
it's white working class. For
sure.
Sure.
So I get it that it's sort of like, the One Nation stronghold. I get that, and apparently the candidate has been pretty good, right? At least compared to the Labor candidate.
As far as One Nation candidates go, pretty reasonable. Yeah.
And
the Labor candidate definitely had issues. I think she's currently on leave from Woodside.
Right.
Where she's like a lobbyist or something. And also there was like this whole furore about how she didn't speak at a couple of presses where Roger Cook was out or something. She just hasn't gone down all that well.
Right. Okay. So I mean, I guess I could see why, but I guess I mean, like, obviously in WA, Labor is still really strong, right? Like, I would say including federally, right? I'd say Labor the brand is still going strong, right? And then also like One Nation, they have had some gaffes in the last couple of weeks, especially on immigration numbers. Nobody seems to really know what the hell is going on with net overseas migration in One Nation, which I feel like should be like the key thing for anyone who votes One Nation. That like, yeah, when we vote for One Nation, we're going to get a party that's going to severely decrease the number of migrants, right? And we don't have a clear answer on that. Like even One Nation, I think she was on the Farmers Summit. Pauline Hanson was on the Farmers, and she is One Nation, was on like the Farmers Summit, the Bush Summit the other day. And she was like, oh yeah, it's going to be 130,000 plus. You got some workers here, you got some people here, you got some people here. So even she is sort of alluding to the fact it's going to be over 130,000.
Well, what do people expect would happen when like the big money started coming into One Nation?
Yeah, well, exactly. So I said to you this earlier, Max, on our group chat, but it really does feel like they're running into the same problem the Liberal Party is. They can't promise too much on immigration because then they're going to upset the business community, and business communities who are relying on for donations. They also don't want to upset them because then they're going to run an anti-One Nation platform. But I mean, I don't know, would they really turn to the Liberals at this point? Because even the Liberals are offering an overseas migration that is like, it's like, what is it, like 100 and less than 180,000. So that's not that pretty for the business community either. So just give the numbers, you Labour freak. Look, I don't know why you're
That's the wildest comment I've seen this year.
I don't know why you're
wasting time. He just wants to get straight to the numbers.
I don't know why we have no numbers. We don't have it. We don't have any, as far as I know, we don't have any current ABC coverage, right? No, they're just going on about something else, right?
Eli, just get on with the count, please, mate.
Come on, just give him the numbers, mate. I just think he's like full market betting up, so just let him go.
Look, if you were a One Nation fan and you want lower migration, right? You should be on board with what I'm saying and saying like, Pauline has has to do something about these like migration numbers and like stop giving it to big business. And you shouldn't be going like, yeah, mate, like no, don't worry, it's all a lie, it's all a scam. I mean, this is what Pauline said herself. She said 130,000 plus all these other stuff, right? She's giving this vague ass number, right? So this isn't even David Farley, right? This is Pauline said that, right? So I don't know what you want me to do. You want me to just say like, oh well, anyway, I've done my crash out. I will say that if One Nation does win tonight, I will drink a cider can, so it will be even more like this. But I'll let you guys talk. So I've ranted enough. Yeah.
Okay.
Are they contesting in this election? I'm really interested. Are they?
Who's that?
The Western Australian Independence Party.
Oh.
Well, you got WA first. Is that who you're talking about?
Close enough. No, there's another one. It's called Waxer.
I don't. Are they even registered in the state? Probably not. I'd say. Well, are they?
I think maybe. I'm not sure, but the memes.
You could tell. First, yeah. Hang on. You can tell Ozzy like genuinely thinks he deserves to live. What is that supposed to mean? Excuse. Anyway, all right. I'll you guys continue.
That's funny. I'm just having a look now. So something interesting is have a look at the voice results back in 2023 for the seat of Brand. Port Kennedy, it's like in the 70s for no, and down into Secret Harbour, it's at least like mid 60s for no. And sometimes that can be a bit of an indication of like a red One Nation area.
Right.
True.
So what you're saying is, hang on, let me go onto the map. So which area voted no of this electorate?
So it's the seat of Brand back in 2023.
Yeah.
Port Kennedy,
okay,
which is like the northern part of this seat. The pre-poll was 76% no.
Yeah.
And the debuffs are pretty heavy as well.
Okay.
And then Secret Harbour itself in the southern part of this seat, kind of more mid to late 60s. No.
Okay. So this Port Kennedy part is the more sort of conservative, socially conservative part of the electorate.
Yeah, but it's maybe, but also like it's the heaviest sort of Labour voting area as well.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, like it's got like this.
Yeah.
Labour has a high primary vote here.
Yeah, so it's like it's sort of like the socially conservative working class part. Yeah. I can see that
I
because it was like 68, 69% at the state election up here.
Yeah.
And 64 for this booth too. But yeah, it's like it's higher than down here. So how about this area here? Medora Bay Community Hall, like down in the south of the electorate, the Medora Bay area. That is the weakest area for Labor versus the Liberals.
What are the Greens numbers there?
The Greens 9.4%, which is that higher than the seat? It's a little bit higher than the seat. How did that go in the voice?
Okay.
How did that go in the voice? This area here down in Medora Bay Community Hall.
Oh, I'd have to go and have a look at the Canning map, I think. What's interesting though is like the booth results when you look at Canning versus Brand. So the Secret Harbour booths in Canning on a two-party preferred basis are like 50-50. So Andrew Hastie did quite well there, like double-digit swings towards him. But without any sort of campaign effort in the seat of Brand, the Liberals didn't do any better. So there's all kinds of interesting like overlaps in this seat.
All right, I'm making another poll.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's also going to be really interesting to see how well One Nation performs in terms of like Western Australian issues, because WA is quite distinct from a lot of the countries in regards to it being very state first and very Westralian first compared to being nationally first. I guess you could say being Australian first.
Okay.
So yeah.
So just an update, everyone. Where it's like 9 minutes past 8 AEST. Polls closed 9 minutes ago. So we're just waiting for results to come in. It's probably going to be a while. But
quite a while.
Yeah. But we will.
Yeah, it's a really big ballot, 16 candidates, so it'll take them a while to count. But there was a lot of pre-polls, so I'm hoping that we do get some smaller booths in relatively soon. But it could be a good hour before we see anything.
For sure.
So what should we discuss in the meantime?
The GST wars. Let's go.
The GST wars.
It is interesting, Heath. You're saying a lot about the state government. From the reports that I was seeing, the state government wasn't coming up at the doorstep. Like people.
That's interesting.
And that's partly why Albert was asked to stay away, supposedly.
But still, like, they've secured what they wanted, that they succeeded in their lobbying, at least in the short term, in terms of, locking down the deal and making sure it's not changed. So you'd think they'd campaign even heavily on that and push more of a fear campaign against, more so One Nation and the Liberals in terms of that. Because that is a big issue for WA. It's something the government has been going non-stop on for, like, the last 3 or 4 weeks. I've even seen adverts from the West, which is like, what? Okay. So, the fact that they're not really door knocking much, it's interesting. Maybe, but then again, like from what I'm seeing from the Labor candidates running, they're not exactly, at least how it's been presented, they're not exactly taking it for granted. But I could be wrong.
We probably won't be getting results.
New Zealand elects.
We probably won't be getting results for an hour, like 90 minutes or something. So, so sit tight, everyone. It's going to be a while. But we do have plenty of things to talk about in the meantime.
Like New Zealand.
Yeah. So most people think it's going to be about 1 to 2.5% of a win. Okay. It looks like. Yeah. The plurality, I mean, at least. Why do you want their Farah broadcasts? Also, they're not called Sky anymore. Yeah, News 24. That's
News 24. It's a
proper
stupid name.
So do you think they changed the name because they thought that Sky News had too much baggage to it?
Yeah, I think that was, but also I think they just went with a stupid name. They couldn't find something good enough for the new era. They chose 24 because the 24/7 news cycle, they were the first outlet in Australia to do that.
Right.
It just sounds like a news channel from the 80s. It's like they've gone backwards. It
used to be it used to be ABC 24, remember? And then they changed it to ABC Live a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So
now we're gonna get news live. It won't even be Sky Live or anything. Just news.
everyone subscribe to Sean's Politics. He does re-upload a lot of. I don't think he's here today, but he does re-upload a lot of old footage of elections. So I thought I'd mention that in the chat.
Yeah, fair.
That's cool. I've been looking for the 2010 Victorian election. I can't find that anywhere.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I'm gonna be real. Like, a lot of archives on elections and just Australian history in general was atrocious compared to a lot of other countries. Something I've actually been really frustrated about the last few days, making my own content. But like, there's so many decentralized archives, it's just so hard to find stuff without having to like pay thousands of dollars, bro.
Yeah, that's a shame. I did ask the ABC, but
yeah, well, they're a little bit better. But like, it's like you've got all these private collections that when things go in the public domain, they don't submit the stuff to the National Archives. They just keep the stuff buried in their collections, never to be seen again. It's pretty poor. Like, but in America, you have like C-SPAN and actual platforms that actually do like publish a lot of the stuff and keep it public.
So
nice.
What did you did you look at the voice for was it Canning, by the way?
It's mostly brand, because in the redistribution, Canning took some of like the Secret Harbour boost, but brand covers pretty much all of them from its 2023 boundaries.
Do you know like though how the voice did in Medora Bay specifically?
I'll have to have a quick look. Give me a second.
Okay. Thank you. So yeah,
interesting polls. Interesting polls.
Yeah, well, I thought that, I mean, it seems like people who are woke like to pretend like woke isn't real, right? That seems to be like the meta, right? So, because only 3% have voted for no, and then 30% have voted woke isn't real. So, I mean, that is a clear phenomenon I've seen where woke people like to say like, well, you know, like they get all semantic on you. They go like, well, you know, like what does it actually mean? Like, does it just mean that you're being a good person? Does it, like, I mean, it can easily be defined. If you ask ChatGPT, it'll give you a pretty good definition, and that I could agree with, right?
That's the first.
Oh well. Go on. Sorry.
For those voice results, Lakelands and Medora Bay, it's 67 and 69% no.
Okay.
Nice.
Right. Okay. So I guess, I mean, my guess would be that this area is a little bit more sort of less working class conservative. They're still conservative, but they're less working class. That's my guess, because Labor only got 57% on the TCP. So
maybe, because I guess maybe the more you get into Mandurah, the demographic kind of changes as compared to being up near Rockingham.
Yeah. So this is all Andrew Hastie's area, right, down in Mandurah.
Yeah, and now it's moved north. Yeah.
Okay, I see. Yeah. Woke is a thing, but what is real? Is this like an epistemology question? Like what is real?
We're going into like a rabbit hole. I'm scared.
Just for us to kind of ponder, apparently the WA Electoral Commission, they don't decide who the final pairing is going to be until they've sort of figured out who it might be. So they don't pick one and then start counting.
Right.
Okay.
Interesting.
So we might get, if it's a tight one on primaries, we're probably going to have to wait even longer before we actually start getting.
Well, the Liberals have no chance, right?
Yeah.
The Liberals have no.
I would have thought so.
Yeah, but they basically campaigned for One Nation over the last few weeks.
Right. What did they do? Like, what did they just say? Like, well, you know, you better put in One Nation instead of Labor. The Labor are just really bad.
Yeah, basically they did a big preference deal, and then Basil's been just basically platforming them instead of really walking the party into a different direction.
Fair enough. Yeah. Guys, I've been really out of the loop when it comes to Ozpol the last couple of weeks.
Well, and especially Western Australia.
Yeah, I this is probably by far the by-election I've put least amount of attention to.
4%.
But I mean, I know what's going on, like sort of like in general, I guess. So
you can trust us, guys. We know what we're talking about.
And I know, and I trust you guys. You guys know what you're talking about. So
yeah, the audience is gonna
As someone from the East Coast and a longtime fan of Andrew Hastie, what did everyone make of Andrew's comments during the campaign? What were his comments during the campaign? Does anyone know?
Oh, basically, yeah, criticizing the Libs for their state strategy on the campaign.
What did they say? What did he say?
I don't remember the specific quotes and stuff, but basically, it hasn't been organised, and yeah, just pivoting to One Nation and platforming.
I think the comments really, yeah. To me, the comments just sounded like he was upset that the Liberals are sort of trying to accommodate One Nation.
Yeah, that's right.
He takes this view that no, One Nation's not meant to be part of the picture. It's either Liberal or Labor, and obviously he's in the Liberal camp. Whereas Basil was saying, hey, a win for One Nation or a loss for Labor is a win for us, even if that means One Nation wins the seat.
Yeah, that's right. That's what he was saying. Yeah.
Whereas, obviously Hastie's saying, well, unless we win the seat, it's not a win.
Yeah, but there's the argument at the same time, like, not to worry about the primary vote and stuff, because like, what's the preference for One Nation on average? Is it like 80% or 70% to Liberals?
Last election, what was it, like 75%?
Yeah. So it's like, yeah. But then again, like, One Nation is going after some Labor seats and stuff, so. And the centre, so.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask, how do you think the Libertarian Party's going to go this by-election?
I don't know.
I've heard.
I mean, shouldn't they do better in WA? Like, just because of their culture, they don't tread on us culture, like.
It hasn't seeped into vote intention.
What? Peter Dunn. Hang on. Oh no. This isn't the Peter Dunn from New Zealand. I was like, for a second, I was getting a bit too excited. But like, why are there so many independents? Like, what is the threshold to get on the ballot?
They're just locked in.
Here?
No, probably not much.
There's like,
let me Google that.
What is that? Six independents plus all of these like pretty much every party that's registered in WA. Isn't this getting a little bit ridiculous? Like,
we haven't got any meme candidates though, have we?
Yeah. What about like Stop Pedos, Protect Kitties? What happened?
Oh yeah, that's like didn't they like steal like the Democratic Party Labor?
It was literally DLP, yeah.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Well, I mean, is this a good thing that we have like all like this many candidates for a by-election like this? Like, or do we need more? Like, what do you think?
Well, like 14 of them are basically irrelevant at this point.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's always good to have for people to have choice though, just in case they become relevant, right? 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
I'm looking at the eligibility
16.
guide to nominate
16 candidates. What's the record for the most amount of candidates for a state by-election?
I don't know, but I know the big tablecloth Senate ballot.
We need some
back in like 2010s.
We need some Canadian style by-elections where they have like the longest ballot.
Like Battle River
Crowfoot, yeah.
Where like they had like what was it, like 50 people or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, they turned it to a write-in, right?
It turned into a write-in. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like Polyev was like buried in the whole document. Oh.
I don't know why they blamed the protesters for that. I didn't like it that they blamed the protesters.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's interesting how like so many of the voters like were still like putting in the effort just to find Polyev's name in that electorate. Like, it's like if it was just me, man, and there was that many, I'd be like, fuck it, just like.
What do you mean finding his name? It wasn't a write-in, so how could they find his name? Like
no, on the ballot sheet, I meant.
Yeah, but it wasn't a write-in, so how do you find that?
No, because wasn't it like a tablecloth sheet? They had like 50 names on it.
Wait, was it a tablecloth or was it a write-in or was it both?
Like he wasn't placed at the top or whatever. What do you mean by write-in?
I thought it was literally just like there were so many candidates that the only way you could vote for someone is if you wrote their name. I thought that's how
No, I'm not sure.
That's how I thought it ended up being. So.
But that probably wouldn't be fair. Like you'd need to see the candidates' names to know. Like you'd have to be able to see them all, right? Surely.
Well, that's what I would have thought, but like I heard it would just it just turned. I heard.
I think there was
write-in ballots. Oh yeah, write-in ballots were used.
Yeah, I was going to say there should have been an option because it is first past the post, right? So there should have been an option to just write who you wanted rather than actually go and find them.
Yeah, interesting.
Okay, so it looks like people don't think that Andrew Hastie will be Liberal leader because what's what's interesting is, and hang on, I'll just switch windows here. Is like the Liberals, right? We'll just talk a little bit about federal politics here. There was that poll by Demos AU, right, which had the Liberals up, like what was it, 5 points, One Nation down 5, right? And it really just it really did seem like maybe what's his name was having a recovery. Taylor, yeah. So here we go, yeah, 25%.
With 614 candidates. Whoa.
And then we'll forget Roy Morgan because they don't matter. But YouGov it had the Liberals down as well, and now I think like One Nation up a little bit or something.
I think the gap widened between them. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean we'll have to wait for there's more polls, but I mean I've been saying to Max for a while that I'm just ignoring federal polls because they just seem to be bouncing around everywhere at the moment, like up and down, week to week. There doesn't seem to be any sort of logic to it.
Yeah.
Like
I don't even write anything, and even then, like this is like I've just been like turning away from polls. It's that like to say that X party would win this amount of seats if an election was held today is completely inaccurate because it ignores the election environment and the politics.
Also we have
you can't compress like a 30 or 40-day election cycle into like one day and say people will vote like this today if it was held. It's just it can't happen.
Well, I understand the reason. Like okay, so on Twitter, on everywhere, there's like 1 billion electoral simulators now. Everyone is now electoral predictor, which makes me feel like it's absolutely pointless me making a video, right?
AI's replaced you, buddy. It's like they've democratized all the
AI and a million Twitter people have replaced me, right? So there's no point in me doing a prediction, especially when, I mean, unless I want view like just for views, right? Or I just want to get out a video, right? Especially when like we still have redistributions to go, and I will definitely get around to it, right? But I would want to make my own model and make it better than my Victorian model and all that kind of stuff, right? But like okay, it is vibe coder slop. I mean, as a vibe coder, right?
Hollywood, yeah.
I am now a vibe coder. I identify as a vibe coder. And I know that there's a lot of slop and
this is slop. Yeah.
And
I've seen this.
I try to avoid making slop myself. But I appreciate the work that goes into a fair bit of slop as well. I will say that I will be waiting until for quite a while because at the moment the polls are bouncing around so much. I mean, like I think what I should have really done was done a sort of prediction on how the political debate was going to change, because I was sort of on the money a little bit for that last year. Like I did say that like going back and watching my video about my spreadsheet, right? Like I was talking about capital gains tax negative gearing. I said that would be, I thought that Labour would bring that to an election. They didn't. They just went for it, right?
Which is, understandable given their history with that sort of stuff.
Sure. I'm not gonna take the rage bait there, Heath. But
they've often been cut down whenever they propose stuff like that, big reforms. They just do it after.
Okay. So I'll ask the audience. Was it ethically correct for Labour to do the CGT and negative gearing changes after promising they wouldn't? Let's see how we go. Let's see what people think about this, because I mean, like it's basically like, if you're agreeing that this is ethically correct, right? You're basically saying that government can really lie and say they're going to do anything as long as, because the public are stupid, right? And they can't handle the truth, right? And you have to lie to them. And so like what's the point of even making promises, right? If you're just going to turn your back on them completely, because go on.
I definitely don't.
Like Ozpol's broken so many conventions since the Whitlam dismissal, like in all sorts of areas, like, so it's it happens now.
I definitely don't accept their explanation that the circumstances had changed. Like, this is a 20 or 30 year cycle.
Yeah, I absolutely do not. I absolutely don't. I absolutely reject that too. And there was somebody who was was posting AI generated arguments in my comments, and was trying to. I mean, it was so blatantly like nonsensical that it had to be AI generated, because they were trying to defend like why it was okay now, but and it wouldn't have been okay last term, right? So because I mean I think they should have done this last term, and they are evading One Nation's rise a little bit, but I think it is contributing to the One Nation's rise that we have so much, anyway. So it's probably going to be another hour before we get results.
I'm hoping we get a small booth or two in after an hour or so, but yeah.
Even them small booths are like a.
Katter has never told a lie. Well, you're gone.
About the demo, I was just to say about that Demos poll. They have been having to weight their surveys quite a lot. So like the sample size is 1,500, but the effective sample size drops to like below 1,000. So they seem to be having trouble finding an effective, a proper sample of the Australian people, and their weighting is doing a lot of the heavy lifting.
Right, I see.
Than some other pollsters. So
Why,
I'm a little bit dubious on their numbers.
Why are they finding difficulty to find a good sample? What's going on?
A representative sample. I wouldn't know. I'd have to ask them themselves.
Yeah, didn't you say you were going to message them and ask them something like that?
Yeah,
right?
and I haven't got around to it, but
okay.
I should.
Fair enough. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Maybe a lot of people are just not wanting to talk about their political opinions at this point or something. I don't know. They feel more embarrassed than ever to talk about their political opinions.
To be fair, yeah, I mean, kind of lines up with societal trends.
Okay, so most people, it seems, unless people are just like purposely balancing the poll, think that it was not ethically correct. Although I do think that if I ask this question to my general viewers, like who are just, I think they would say it was ethically correct, because I do have, like, in the people who just answer my regular polls, there is an overrepresentation of Labour shills, it seems. So, I'll be curious to ask this.
I don't know.
I've asked similar questions to this, and they seem to be like, yeah, well, it's fine because the Australian public, they don't understand economics, and
I think it's just no, yeah.
And it's going to be like 2019. Okay, my argument for why it might have been okay, and I'm not saying it is okay, but my argument would be that they risk actually crashing the housing market just by making that promise.
Yes.
And if that happens before an election, that is pretty devastating for them. So,
yes. And also, yeah, like they didn't even like announce this out of the blue that these policies were I say they're deliberately leaked, because anytime a political party's policy is leaked, 90% of the time it is deliberate from the party to test the waters. It was floating. It worked. They avoided announcing these policies in election because obviously most Australians and especially the media establishment that are owned by a lot of liberalist individuals that, I wouldn't say they're selfish and hog wealth, but historically Australia has been quite, anti-redistributive and that sort of stuff. So yeah.
Someone saying that like these demos they use ONP hope slot, but this most recent one, this is where One Nation went down was at 5 and then Liberals went up 4, right? So it's basically counter all the other previous demos AU polls, or at least the ones at the beginning of the year where it had One Nation up before everyone else basically. So you can't really say that these polls are hope slop when this kind of stuff happens. So if anything, this YouGov poll's hope slop. It's got One Nation up 2 points more and Coalition down 4 points. So
yeah, I think one thing that is interesting though is when they go for the MRP and they get the big sample size of like 5,000-6,000 plus, they're still getting the same results. They're still getting One Nation ahead on primaries.
Okay, so somebody wants me to look at the most recent WA state polls, so we might as well do that. Next, see if it pops up if I just type in this. No. Okay. All right. Next. Okay.
Mr. Aussie's elect is being pinged in the chat.
Oh.
You're getting held to account, buddy. Watch out. You gotta be honest now. You gotta put a disclosure log out there.
They wanted the changes. This was well proven, but people with vested interest would have campaigned against it. Yeah, I don't think that's a good argument to just say like, well, the business community is gonna. They should be able to defend themselves. You know, that's. Otherwise, it just again it loses like all point of making election promises. So anyway,
2029 feels ages away.
so the most recent WA poll, this was it was pretty recent actually.
Yeah.
Labor 33, Liberals 21, Nats 4, Greens 12, One Nation 21. So this was One Nation's best poll. They've gone up and up since for a while, and Labor 33 is not very high for what you would think would be.
It's all demos.
Yeah, no one else is polling WA.
Yeah, that's fair enough though. To be fair, like, yeah,
This is really
there are some more like interesting points within that poll. So Roger Cook still has positive approvals.
okay.
of course. Yeah.
There's not a huge amount of variance like in the regional breakdowns, but with I think TAFE educated voters and outer suburban voters, that's where One Nation does the best.
Yeah.
I really love the name of the electorate, Secret Harbour. By the way, I remember the WA election.
It's so dumb.
I thought
Who calls an electorate Secret Harbour? It's not secret. Everyone knows about it now. Like.
Yeah, it's not so secret anymore. The secret's been broken after we've had
Why is it even called Secret Harbour?
I think the locals.
Was there a Secret Harbour there like during World War II or something?
I think the locals are actually really mad because their Secret Harbour has now the secret's out, right? So the locals are like all the NIMBYs will be so mad that all the people will know about their Secret Harbour and now go there because they're like, oh, what is this harbour?
No, from Secret Harbour to Harbour of No Secret.
This is the real reason why the ABC isn't doing electoral coverage, right, on this by-election.
Keep it secret. They're part of it, you know?
Because the NIMBYs at Secret Harbour are telling them they have to keep it a secret. So.
Exactly.
The NIMBYs of Secret Harbour. Isn't it basically like a greenfield estate from sort of 10, 15, 20 years ago? Like a lot of this is fairly new suburbia. I think the reason why it's called, like why harbour is in the name is because there was a proposed harbour that never went ahead.
Why is it secret? Like that's what everyone wants to know.
It's secret it doesn't exist.
That is in the public interest.
I don't know. Maybe if they told if they told everybody that there was going to be a harbour, no one would have voted for it. Maybe that's the problem.
True.
I looked it up on Google Images. It looks like there's some nice beaches there. So
good beaches and apparently a really nice golf course.
Right. Everyone needs a good golf course.
Exactly.
There we go. Named after a proposed marina development from the 80s. There you go.
Proposed, yeah.
Okay. That's ridiculous to say that money in politics is a fair and equal system so that interest groups with money can just project significantly more than general. Well, Labor had the opportunity to pass a better raft of money in politics laws a couple of years ago, and what they did, they posted I mean, I don't think it was as anti-independence as a lot of the independents said, but it was clearly leaving the door open for quite a lot of big money to come into federal politics. I don't think that they were that strong, those donation laws. So if Labor really wanted to stop that kind of stuff, and they haven't really done a very good job at it. And I don't really see the argument that like, oh well, if they try to do that kind of thing, big business will attack them. They'll make ads because the whole point is that the money will be out of it, so they can't do anything anymore. So I
mean, look, honestly, you just have to look at Clive Palmer to know that you have to have more than money to win votes.
Yeah.
How many millions has he spent?
Not a single seat, like.
Well, yeah. If you go back all the way to 2013, how many millions has he spent? And what he elected himself and
then he retired.
Well, I mean, in 2013, he only got people elected because of DBT, really. So it wasn't even the money, but.
Yeah, wasn't like the tax debate as well, with carbon tax and a few other things.
Just Wilco, how does it look on the ground? Any chatters from Secret Harbour? The only reports I heard were, well, firstly that pre-poll was big for One Nation, early days in pre-poll, and then maybe it petered out a bit. But any chatter that I've heard from today was One Nation support was still pretty strong.
Yeah, so I'm just putting in the chat that sort of the consensus is that One Nation will squeak it in. So.
Okay.
Well, am I wrong? That seems like it's the consensus from everyone?
I wasn't looking. I was literally responding.
No. I mean, not in the chat. I mean, like the consensus from everyone, like you, the betting markets, the poll earlier. Everyone seems to think that
marginal One Nation seat is interesting.
That One
all
Nation
the seats we've seen really so far. Like, I mean, apart from that one in South Australia with like 50 votes missing, or something like that. One whole booth missing.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Did they actually end up counting those, or did they just like shuffled them away and didn't?
Well, they counted. They counted the first lot because it might have changed the result, but the second time, I think they were just like, oh, no.
It's too late. Like.
Well, I think they declared the result. I can't remember.
Yeah, that's the thing. If they declare it, then like it's cooked. Like, yeah.
So Casey Briggs says that 50% of the enrollment has voted before today.
Yeah, that's totally reasonable in 2026.
Yep. So, what do we think turnout will be?
Not great.
Well, I'm not sure. Like the circus has been in town. One Nation will probably drive turnout, not their own voters, but also anti-One Nation voters.
Yeah, but like, so you think the centre's going to be quite like not out there, you know, like.
Well, they kind of, I don't know, they command a response. One Nation, either with them or against them.
No, the Nationals are not contesting this seat, but I think I said
lol. It's not their area, really. Like,
I said Lib Nats because the commenter asked who they were referencing.
They're not even like they're not even in coalition in.
Oh, sorry, yeah, they're not even in coalition, so yeah. My bad.
Nonsense.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, they're like mortal enemies, not. It was amazing when the Nats were the official opposition for a couple of years. That was great. I love that.
Presdo.
We don't see much now.
Presdo thinks that the informal vote would be high. What do you guys think?
Oh, okay.
Might be slightly high.
16 candidates.
Maybe. Honestly, I feel like turnout will be low and informal will be kind of the same as it has been for a lot of. But then again.
Does WA have any sort of savings provision?
I don't think so.
What do you mean savings?
So, as in, if you vote one, if you don't complete your ballot, like don't label all the preferences.
It counts. Okay, doesn't all does.
Yeah, I know, but SA does, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't think WA does.
But in SA, I think they found it was like 1 or 2% of votes needed the savings provision. People know what to do.
Yeah.
Thanks to the person who's spamming hearts in the chat. Yeah. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
that's nice.
That is very nice. Sorry, go on, Heath.
Everyone spam the like button.
The WA Demos AU poll says the WA Nationals are getting votes in inner suburban areas. How is it possible if they run candidates in the bush?
That is interesting because most pollsters, I would have thought, would ask you which seat, like where you live and which seat you live in, and they'd give you they wouldn't offer the Nats as an option if they didn't run last time. That is interesting.
But it's like, it's a party you would vote for if they were to stand, because you never know if they are. That's the thing.
Yeah,
but like with Reform, like with the Clacton before that was even announced, you know, like didn't know that the parties wouldn't have stand if there was a by-election, you know, like or not.
Yeah, but I thought the standard practice was that the respondent to the pollster gets offered like a candidate list from, or a party list from the previous election.
Oh yeah. That could make sense. Yeah.
Well, it could just be
but maybe if they weren't there for a one-off, you'd assume that they'd be back next time. But maybe if they haven't been there for like 30 or 40 years, then you wouldn't.
I can imagine the WA Nats just deciding one election, we're just going to run in every seat, like for some reason.
Yeah, they'll do that one day.
Like
they probably have done it before.
Like maybe even next election they could decide that if the Liberals are really like on the nose or something. I don't know.
Maybe, but then I would have thought that
One Nation was going to cook them.
I would have thought the chances of forming a coalition or even a merger, like in Queensland, would be
I can see that happening.
on the cards.
I mean, South Australia, they basically don't exist. So it's really Western Australia and what is it?
Well, Tassie's the other one.
No, not even not even Tassie, but like New South Wales. Like because Tassie, they basically don't exist as well. They're like South Australia.
Okay,
But what about Victoria? Do they exist in Victoria much? Like
100%.
They're
They're it's like 8 or 9 maybe.
okay, so similar to like New South Wales.
Yeah, but what's interesting in Victoria is that there are very few seats, even open seats, where both the Libs and Nats have announced a candidate. I'm pretty sure Ripon is the only one at this stage.
Yeah.
Like the Liberals aren't running in either Bendigo's seat, so that
Yeah.
the Nats have a clear path.
Are they in coalition there?
Yeah, they are in coalition.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Have been since 2010, I think.
Yep.
There's a running trend with state governments, with the exception of Victoria, have very popular state governments, contrasting with the constant polarizing nature of the federal government. Thoughts? Exception of Victoria, I see. Okay. Well, at the moment, the WA Labor Party haven't been too pretty in the polls, which I feel like this is sort of reflecting their sort of people's view federally as well. So I think the WA Labor Party are getting sort of hurt by their federal reputation. Although I'm not that familiar on WA state politics, to know if it's actual local state issues that are affecting these numbers. So
Luke is better to advise says there's a running trend with state governments, with the exception of Victoria, that have highly popular state governments, contrasting with the polarizing nature of federal governments. Thoughts? Yeah, like there's this concept that's like me and Solomon and others like toying around. So like the forever governments that we're seeing, kind of like not like the US states, but like similar in that we have these long running governments. Some that probably might even last not forever, but for a very long time. Yeah. I think it's just there's many factors that contribute into it. But yeah.
So when I say not too pretty in the polls, and I'm talking about 54 TPP, right? Well, firstly, there's this one that was 53. Secondly, compared to how WA Labor have done in the past, right? They got 57 at the last state election, and then the previous one to that, what was it, like 67 or something? So, comparatively, if you compare it to past results, then yeah, it's not that pretty. Like this has been WA has been Labor's best state, apart from maybe you could argue SA, right?
For a long time, yeah.
For quite a while. So
yeah, that's right.
Just I mean, ACT.
They're the closest state government to ever get to a full sweep. No opposition at all, because we've never had that happen before.
Yeah. So this is if you compare it, not too pretty, 53, 54, So I mean, this is what if there's any time in the last, I don't know how long, much amount of time that Labor could lose a state by-election, to be now, because they are sort of not looking as healthy as they were in the past. But
yeah, sure.
I mean, as someone who has not been paying attention for the last about month or so, I just find it so odd that One Nation would win this by-election.
Also, yeah. Because like One Nation isn't like really seen as like a
the only thing I've heard from One Nation is all their gaffes about immigration. That's all I've heard from them in the past.
That as well. But also they're not really a WA party. Like that, sure they have a branch of it, but like the whole brand and stuff is very East Coast centric and have been quite unreliable on WA interest. So I mean, even though the whole One Nation like state level thing is kind of interesting in how that's all played out, like in South Australia. Like. It doesn't really feel like they've like really like fledged out a proper identity. Like I mean, the federal one at least has some sort of identity, but it just feels like a rehash.
Are we going to call the Tassie government popular?
I'd call them entrenched rather than popular.
Yeah,
I would say
they've got a lot of structural advantage, and that's with a lot of these forever governments. Not all of them are popular. Like South Australia is the exception. Yeah, it's like a lot of this like structural barriers for the
if the Labor Party was a better unit and was willing if they were willing to sort of lean into that more tealish greenish type,
that'd have to be more green.
Or green or tealish, like whichever of the two. But if they were willing to do that, they would be in an election winning position for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's also there's structural disadvantages. There's the government's got way more funding They've basically got no real resources. I don't know if Tasmania's the worst in that case, but it is one of the worst for sure. So opposition is brutal.
All right,
the media landscape there's also pretty cooked in terms of accommodating more further left stuff. Especially the Greens. Greens really struggle to get media attention. Well, at least for yeah.
I'm gonna make a poll up your alley, Heath.
Okay. What's it about?
By the way, for anyone wondering, turnout last election for Secret Harbour was 84.5%.
Okay.
Right.
Do you think we'll beat that? It's possible.
Sorry, the turnout for what was 65%?
No, 84.5%.
That's not too bad. That's actually that's pretty good for like Australia, like compared to the rest of the world where it just collapsed.
Wait, so that was for Secret Harbour at the last state election?
Oh, I love this poll. Yeah. Nice. Oh, I don't know how many West Australian viewers are there, but you guys, yeah, you get too much. Oh, okay, it's pretty split. Okay. Okay, I'm probably gonna get eaten alive in the comments then.
Yes, they should get less. That's the plurality. So
yeah. Well, that's the thing. Horizontal fiscal equalization is it's the whole system of trying to balance states' needs and ensuring that all are able to deliver a similar level of services.
Well, they get so much money from mining royalties, right?
Yeah, but they also get separate federal grants outside of the GST to cover the shortfall for the state, in fact, just being such a large state, so they get quite a lot. They most of our defense investments over there, a vast, I wouldn't say super majority, but well over 50% of our defense is getting poured into WA. And then you got the GSN and many other things. They're fine. They've got probably more than enough.
Thoughts on federal polling? We discussed this a little bit earlier, but my thing is it's just all over the place at the moment. I don't know what to make of it. So, it's just every time there's a poll that comes out and we're like, oh my god, is this actually happening? Then the next 2 days later, there's a poll that comes out which is contradicting exactly what that last poll says. So, but it looks like what has been consistent is community strong consistently on 2%.
WA should have more than 2 lanes on the freeway. Sit down, buddy. Tasmania doesn't even have that much, and we're a smaller state that has a lot of that's very road centric. Come on, man. What are you talking about?
We need a new graph guy. What is that supposed to mean? A new graph guy?
What do you mean?
What's wrong with this graph? I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, by the way, whoever does the Wikipedia polling graphs and stuff and the seat charts, hats off to them. They're the real MVPs in Ozpol, man. No one talks about them.
Well, I know what his name is. His name is ChatGPT.
Crazy.
because that's who's at the end of the day doing everything.
Real.
Yeah. There's so much here now. If you go back to previous elections, there's barely anything, and then now it's just, and where's the state by state polls? I want to see there should be graphs for each of these states. So. No, I'm not the graph guy, by the way, lol. All of our graph guys keep on dying. This is the replacement for the previous graph guy. So what are you talking about? They're all dying? What?
I mean, to be fair, a lot of them are kind of old now. I think in the 60s.
Wait, what are we talking about?
The Wikipedia graphs and tables and the people who make them.
You mean the people who make the formatting, or the people who make the actual put these graphs on
the people who put this stuff on Wikipedia and keep it updated?
I'm pretty sure it's all Zoomies these days doing this, as far as I know. So it's all these there's so many again on Twitter. There's so many artists making political simulators and predictions.
I think if you go to Bludger Track, you might be able to find better visualizations of state by
Paul
state
Bludger's
polling.
probably the best.
Oh, you mean like okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, like here, okay. Right. Yeah, okay. We can look at this. Yeah. So
We love Paul Bludger.
try to see who might be winning some Senate seats, probably.
They're all dead.
I mean it's by default it's probably just gonna be like two Labour, one Greens, and then either one coalition and two One Nation or two One Nation. Yeah, you get what I'm saying. So it's
Is Andrew Green dead? Oh, you've made my night. I think he's on a cycling trip in like Slovenia or something.
Yeah. He said he made some blog post saying he won't have any commentary tonight. So that's why you're all here, right? That's what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so everywhere's pretty equal, but South Australia is just a massive blowout for Labor apparently. So that's now Labor's strongest state. So
Yeah. Strongest more.
coalition on 18% primary federally. Interesting.
Yeah. It's fun.
Down.
Once again, they'll get the preferences back, even if they're behind One Nation, like they did in South Australia.
What are you talking about? If there was a federal election today, the Liberals wouldn't win any seats in South Australia.
No, of course, like federally, but like on the state level, they're actually doing pretty all right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Obviously, they're not in a government-winning position, but they're not getting completely wiped. Like they're like in South Australia, they actually quite a few.
So someone goes in and out of interest in politics. He is invited to the stream. He just isn't here tonight. So
he's probably in bed, to be honest.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I had a nap a couple of hours ago. Otherwise, I would not have. Would have been struggling a lot more.
Yeah.
Anthony Green. Obviously.
Yeah, for a second there, I thought his name actually was Andrew Green.
No. Yeah.
My brain exploded.
Is this guy tripping me up? I was like, what?
It's Andrew Hasty, right? Like that's his name, or is it Anthony Hasty? I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
Like in 1998 Fed.
Imagine Andrew Hasty doing like election night poll.
Okay, so somebody wants me to do opinions on the Greens. Look at them. They're just flat. Like they're not going anywhere.
They're going nowhere. Like even UK Greens do way more than
New Zealand Greens also go nowhere. Yeah, no, like Greens are just stagnant everywhere around the world. Okay. Here's my.
They were a little bit up in UK, but they
here's my take on the Greens. They're not going to go anywhere because people are tired of woke. But a good 10% or a good 1/8 of the population, so maybe about between 10 and 12.5%, are like woke, and they're like they're super sort of like happy with their wokeness, right? I mean, obviously there's woke people who vote Labor, right? But that's different. Yeah. But there's about 1/8 of the population is like woke, I'm woke, and this is the way it has to be, and then pretty much everyone else is like, okay, that's too. Yeah, I know. So my take. My take is that if we are going to see a party left of a Labor rise ever, it is not going to be like the woke left. It's going to be a different kind of left. Maybe like an anti-immigration left, maybe like
but then again, like
populist, rationalist left. Not the Greens who are woke and people are I mean, that's one big reason One Nation's risen. That's one big reason why Donald Trump won in 2024. It's because the woke stuff is pissing people off.
We've had a third party in Australia. Whether that's been in the Senate, the House, or both.
Well, we've got 4 parties now. I mean, I would say
but that's like this could be a transition period. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen in the next 5-10 years. It could merge again, like it's happened in the past, like the last 4 times.
Look, the people who say that woke isn't real are deluding themselves. Absolutely, it is real. Like, okay, sure, it might be vague.
Israel?
Sure. Definitely not Israel, right? I mean, there are some woke people that are pro-Israel, but there aren't many of them. So
the right-wing version of woke.
Sounds like BSW in Germany. Well, okay, so I have some thoughts on BSW. Okay, so I was following BSW at the last German election, right? I mean, nobody knows what I'm talking about, but BSW is like this.
That left-wing party that says they were right-wing, but not really. Like,
okay, they're like
the media couldn't define what they were.
They're like a socially conservative, economically left party in Germany.
They took from the communists.
And they are popular in Eastern Germany where the communists used to be, and somewhat popular. They weren't able to win the election because because they got 4.997% of the vote or something, and the threshold is 5%. Their problem, I think, mostly was that they were seen as pro-Russian, and that's not on in Germany.
Yeah, they're basically like OG communist, bro. Like they're the real deal. And
So,
I think he thought he was like, all right, election boy, define woke for me.
Define woke for me. Look, go on the ChatGPT and say when people say woke.
He's recommending AI.
Well, it's a perfect. If you ask ChatGPT, it's a perfectly good definition. And people who like say that it's not real, it absolutely is real. The definition might be vague, it might differ from person to person, but it absolutely does exist. So
yeah.
But yeah, like the BSW, their main issue was being seen as pro-Russia, and I think they probably do have some pro-Russia elements. They probably have some pro-Ukrainian elements, but it wasn't conclusive, and that's why they struggle, and they've struggled since then because I think their leader quit. I didn't hear exactly about. I mean, their party is named after someone who has left the leadership, so I'm not exactly sure why she quit, but I didn't hear about that. But the poll is full of Easterners. Yeah, I know. Well, most people are Easterners, so.
Yeah, suck it.
So.
As for the Greens, though, I do think that with a better leader, they could go somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah. This is the thing that they've got a really big problem with communication and leadership, and they're just sitting back and just letting things float. They're just one of those, just another third party that just gets a couple seats, holds on, does a couple deals here and there, but it just doesn't. It just stays as a quasi crossbench kind of party sitting in ambiguity, and just vibes. But yeah, strong leadership would definitely expand it much further. I think they're actually going to go into recession over the next couple elections, maybe at least the next one.
Well, the Greens has been.
I think they're going to lose a couple seats next.
To be fair, there has been polls where they've been like up. There was one Roy Morgan 15.5. Well, it's mostly Roy Morgan. But there was this poll from Roy Morgan where it was almost, where was it? All the parties were almost within 10%. It was ridiculous. When was that?
Yeah.
It was somewhat recently. Why can't I find it?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Morgan has some sort of house effect though, because they're consistently putting out polls that are higher for the Greens than any other pollster.
Right.
I think for a lot of left parties, we're just kind of shifting off to a different way. But I think a lot of the ways in which we communicate politics and stuff, it's the right and the centre of right in Australia dominates that area. But in terms of academia, it's quite very left leaning, and they've got quite a dominance there. But there's really a lot of that misbalance. I think the Greens are kind of stuck in trying to bridge that and try and balance things out and in both spaces. And they're just losing a lot of voters, a lot of young voters who are just aging into Labor and even potentially Liberals eventually, but mostly Labor, independents. And that's a big problem for them.
Yeah, they've lost that sort of true. I think at the start they inherited a bit of what the Democrats had.
They did. They basically stole their audience.
Yeah, which wasn't explicitly it was explicitly environmental, but not far left economics or social policy.
Yeah.
Whereas they've alienated. I think in 2022 they peaked by attracting teal vote in areas like Queensland, which didn't really have teals, and now they've alienated a lot of those people. And
and now you got Community Strong, which is basically Democrats 2.0, but not really it's.
Well, the Community Strong, their brand is terrible. That
it was such a dumb name, and then
let's look at them for a second.
They've done another Australia voice, Fatima Payman. They've just founded a party, and then they've just forgotten about it.
I am fascinated with Community Strong Australia. I think this is the most fascinating political party that we've seen in Australia for ages, because it's Look. The idea is there, right? A centrist, social liberal, environmental party, right? Maybe sort of economically rationalist. The idea is there, right? What the Liberal Party, quote unquote, used to be, right? But it's just being completely flubbed right? I mean, it could be great. But it's completely
Yeah,
flubbed. The
they
name
don't actually
sucks.
face
The
them.
logo sucks. What is this
Yeah.
logo? Wait, what is
Yeah.
what? It's a
Yeah,
it's
but
a
also, like,
hand holding like an Aboriginal flag. I guess I don't know.
or some sort of symbol. I don't know. But like they don't even face that much like institutional like what do you call it? Just gatekeeping and stuff because they are quite economically liberal. They do pretty well with the media and especially the ABC and stuff. But I think they've just got a lack of conviction, leadership, and they've
Well,
just,
they got two members. They completely flubbed.
and they haven't done anything.
They need David Pocock as leader, and
Well, they do as well.
they
to add some weight,
they
but,
should
like,
not have launched unless they had David Pocock as leader because
They should have also been like much more like not regional focused, but they should have just been really Sydney focused. Like I mean, but they're basically just Sydney. To be fair.
Well, the two members do not need a party brand behind them.
Yeah, that's that as well. Like
That's the funny thing. Like, who are they bringing up? Who are they taking across into this party? It's so weird.
okay, people don't have much faith in
I think they'll survive.
the
I think they'll survive with their own seats, like maybe, like, but like you know, they're not really gonna expand beyond that. It's a Canva made logo.
I think I could make a better logo and a better name
I can make a better logo with Canva than
in
that,
a day
so.
than this. I don't know how a focus group said that this was a good idea. This is
Yeah, the name.
no, they don't want to call themselves the Teals because the Teals has a bad sort of.
But also,
reputation.
having your party name as a color doesn't make.
But
doesn't
their
really
color was.
represent anything.
Hang on, but sorry, their
But,
color
like calling your party
is
the
teal.
teal party doesn't make sense because it's a color.
Yeah.
Like, well, your name's
Well,
a fucking color.
yeah, no,
right?
but the greens are a color. Hang on, the
Yeah, it's a
greens are a color. The greens are a color. So I mean, that's not really an argument.
True,
So.
true,
Look,
true.
okay,
you
so-
got me. Oh my gosh, I've been defeated for the first
I
time.
think
this week.
it is meant to be like the Aboriginal flag, right? That's what I think,
I
right?
don't know.
Like a
I don't know.
variation of the Aboriginal
Uh,
flag. So.
Well, like it's like a sun over a valley, and then the hand is holding the valley. Like,
Yeah.
what is that?
Is it a valley though? Like this looks like a hill.
Hill holding a hill, yeah. Or is it like but it's also like a love heart, like turned onto its side, like.
Is it a love heart? I thought it's a sun.
Dude, we really
If you look at the whole.
we really need some results. This is getting bad.
Bad guys. We're clutching at straws.
Has anyone done a deep dive on CSA? That's what I want to know. Has it like what was the like what happened? What happened? I don't like. They should have just not done it because
Yeah, exactly.
this
They've
is
they've cooked a new resurgence. Like,
I think-
you know.
they have. There's actually a chance that these two independents will lose next election because I mean they probably won't. But
Dude, can you?
Milky 694 is Mao Zedong's rising sun. He was born.
What I want to see is Climate 200 backed independents running against CSA in the two elections.
yeah,
That's what I want to see.
1v1. The Platypus Party.
it's the planet Earth with the sun rising over. Well, that's why I thought Aboriginal flag because in that one the sun is yellow.
It has
but-
got that three stripe pattern to it as well, like.
Well, they use red and okay, I don't know.
And the colours, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, okay. All right. Are there any adults on this live broadcast? It sounds infantile. What? Am I supposed to take this seriously? Am I supposed to take this seriously?
No,
This
it's
is,
golf ball. You gotta have some fun. We're gonna bring back that.
do you think
positivity to
Australians take this seriously? I don't think with 2%. I
No.
don't think they take
golf.
this seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
So
We're gonna bring that. We're gonna keep that culture going.
do not do a deep dive on CS. Yeah.
No.
I live in Zali Stegel's seat. She did not need a party. She is very entrenched. If anything, she's losing. Yeah, that's what I think as well. So yeah. Okay. So do we want to talk about New Zealand while we wait or not?
Sure. Have you got a new take? Is the TOP wave actually real? Is it gonna like?
I mean, it
have
has to
legs?
be. It has to be real because I mean,
No,
I know.
what I mean is like, does it have legs? Is it gonna is it actually gonna go the distance?
I
Is it
think-
gonna clear 5%.
I think the meme is real. It has to be real because it's like I think New Zealand is one of those countries where people feel like hopeless in every single party, so they want to try something new. That's what I'm getting. So I think the attacks are real on opportunity. They're saying that, but I think the whole like they identify as do they identify as radical center? Is that their thing? Oh no, they're just center. Okay, but
Good. There's a good question in the little chat statement. Bet someone when David Farley becomes liberal, but like there's a debate. Like, will he become liberal or independent or Labor? Like, because like he's pivoting like that direction. He's going to be a defector eventually.
Yeah,
like,
you thought he was going to go to the Labour Party in the chat. So
No. Like, it's kind of. It depends. Like he did try and stand as a candidate, but like a lot of his issues wouldn't exactly even align with Labour right. To be fair.
They're called ops now, by the way. They're called ops, Max.
What?
They're not
Ops.
top. They're not top anymore. They're ops.
Oh, ops, yeah, opportunity party, yeah.
Just opportunity, yeah.
Oh, Trump with Patriots, yeah. What?
That sucks. The best line of the 2023 election was that the top has ended up at the bottom of New Zealand politics.
Ah,
was
To
so
be called
good.
the bottom party.
Yeah.
yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. They rebranded like a year or two ago.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
they still got.
We did a whole video at Slam News. You can watch it over on our channel. It's popping off.
Yeah, I mean, I've been meaning to do a New Zealand video for a while, but you know, so
Yeah, just check out Slam News.
I get distracted by all these vibe coding projects and ChatGPT distracting me all the time.
Exactly.
So I'm addicted to AI. I'm sorry, everyone.
Yeah, you are. You need it. You need to get some sun.
I need to get help for my AI addiction. Does he have enough aura to keep you safe? David Farley. Yeah, I think David Farley is very popular. If you're talking about him.
Got aura? Yeah. I don't know, but like he hasn't like he's kind of like stagnant though. That's the thing. Like he needs to start farming.
Well, actually, so there's this. I have my own name for. I don't know if they got a name for it yet. For the coalition of Opportunity Labour and the Greens. But I have my own name for it.
They probably need the party Maori as well because they're probably still going to get.
Well, maybe. But
five Maori kids.
I like the idea of the Quetzal coalition. So there's this bird called the resplendent Quetzal. So it's literally the colors of like green, teal, and red. So I think it should be called the Quetzal coalition. If it forms. So I'm very excited to see that in New Zealand. And I do think the Opportunity Party is what I was kind of talking about earlier. I mean, it's not really left wing. It's more in a centrist party, but it is sort of.
Yeah, it's weird. It's all over the place in terms of policy. It's like
very
ambitious. It's got a very ambitious reform platform, and there's a lot of very economically right ideas, but some pretty far left-leaning ideas as well.
It's
interesting.
I would call it economically rationalist. That's what I would call the party.
Yeah, I mean that's what they believe in evidence-based policy making. That's their position.
Well,
they'll pick up anything that has been proven to work.
Well, that's a lot. I think that's a lot of bullshit. But I mean, evidence-based policy.
That's what they claim.
That's what they claim. Yeah, but everyone can say that they've got evidence-based policy. Like One Nation will say, "Oh yeah, kicking Indians out of the country is evidence that will help."
Yeah, it's like no added like artificial colors and flavors, but we know they're in there. Like they're just flipping us. Like
I don't trust those quote unquote natural sweeteners.
Natural confectionery code.
I don't trust the natural sweeteners. I think they give you diabetes. So I'm not.
Would have thought it's still sugar, but it's not cold sugar.
But Quetzals look good, not lame. So you're saying it's too cool of a bird to associate with that coalition. So that's what you're saying.
Coalition. That's awesome.
A Labour Greens. And
you got the yellow beak for ACT. Like, what's going on there?
Oh, okay. Ignore the beak. Okay, ignore the beak. All right, we're talking about the feathers here. It's just the feathers. That would be interesting if they were in a coalition with them, but I don't think it's going to happen. So.
Well, it's more likely that it'd be more likely for them to be in a coalition with ACT than New Zealand.
Okay.
Let's be real.
Results. So I would assume the results will come in within the next 20 minutes at the most. So
yeah.
I'll go to the poll bludger. I'll see if he's doing some commentary on what's going on.
Great by-election discussion, guys. Yeah, real.
On Farley though, I always got the sense that he sort of wormed his way into the One Nation pre-selection. Like I never got the sense that he was a massive loyalist for the party. He seemed to use it as his preferred vehicle. Yeah, 100%. I'm surprised that he actually won pre-selection.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that's going to impact how One Nation go about it in the future if he does defect. They might just point to him and be like, see, we can't have you party members voting on this, we'll choose.
Yeah, but that's the thing, like in Tasmania, they say that they've registered the party and they said that like candidates and stuff are going to be like elected by the party like for nominations, but like Really, like, will it? Like, we saw what happened with Jackie Lambie, but even then, that wasn't really democratic.
But
So,
he just seems to kind of want to do whatever he wants. David Farley, he doesn't seem to give a shit.
which is awesome.
They should not allow him to go on insiders. They should have just blocked him from going on insiders because
Yeah, but this is the thing. Like, we don't really
liability.
have this much in alt pol, which is nice. Like, because like in the US, there is a bit more cross floor.
But if
very polarized.
If they were smart, they wouldn't let somebody who's a loose cannon like that on insiders. They would block him from.
He could just turn up. It doesn't matter.
Well, no, I mean, they should say, you know, if you go on insiders, you know, we'll, I don't know, we'll leak against you or something. I don't know what to do. So.
They're probably not going to sack him because they need as much representation.
I know. Well, they're sort of between a rock and a hard place. But I mean,
the thing, like, he's actually got a bit of leverage in ways if you think about it. Like,
but you would think they could strong. You would think that they could strong arm him somehow. You know.
No.
So.
No.
Yeah.
Because I mean, already with the media disciplining, just getting rid of him is not great either. Like, what can you do? The hands are tied.
Ball Devies will remain a safe Labour seat. What's Ball Devies? What's that? Does anyone know? You guys know?
Neighbouring state seat.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, I see. Sorry, everyone, for my lack of WA knowledge. I apologise.
Don't worry.
I just happen to be. I happen to be looking at the map.
Ah, I see. Okay, I see. So yeah, results should be coming in over the next 20 minutes.
Hopefully.
Without delay, hopefully.
I would talk about Victoria, but that's another rabbit hole.
Yeah, we're not going into that.
That's Victoria. I don't know if I'm mentally prepared to talk about Victoria.
No, so. I just put it on the afterpay mandal. Just put it later.
I still want your list of 40 seats.
I don't know. It's going to be 40 seats. That's all I'm going to say. It's going to be 40 seats. Labour 40 seats.
For party, for Labour. Oh, Labour.
They're going to win. Is it Box Hill?
How many votes? Yeah.
They could win.
How many votes do you think they're going to save from scrapping the Dan Andrews statue? That's a debate there.
Yeah, well, I think the whole SRL thing is the most contentious thing. Actually, I'll do a poll on that. So,
yeah.
What's going on with that actually, Max? Is it an ogre? Is the SRL ogre, or is it just going to Box Hill, or what? What's going on?
I think we're stuck with it. Like, no matter what anyone wants to do, you're either paying like 12 billion to cancel it, or you're just going to slowly build it and hope that over time the feds contribute more and more to it.
Well, that's what they do. I mean, they scrapped inland rail for it, so.
But no, they didn't scrap it as such. Like, they said, all right, we're just going to build it. Yeah, we're just going to build it to parks or whatever, and then.
Yeah, and then like if the private sector wants to fund it, maybe. But they basically scrapped it, like, to be real.
Well, but I mean, like the suburban rail loop, it's definitely not making it past Box Hill. Let's put it that way.
No. I wonder how the scrapping of public housing is going for Labour, because the Vic Sox are really pushing on that, and Vanderlam and all that.
Yeah, well, that policy's weird. I mean,
yeah. But I mean, are Vic Sox really going to move much next election? I mean, because the thing is, they changed the voting, didn't they? Was it the group ticket voting, or whatever?
They could still win a seat. Vic
but like it's going to be a little bit more difficult.
No, actually, I think actually it's made it slightly easier for Vic Soc because the whole GVT stuff.
Oh yeah, because it's more micro parties than those.
Really difficult for them. Like Glen Drury was not good for the Victorian Socialists because where do I live? I live in Western Sydney. Yeah, I live in safe Labour territory. That's all you need to know. It's not going anywhere.
Guys, we're
There's a count. What? Somebody says there's a count. Are they just trolling me?
Nothing on Paul Bludger.
Nothing. Don't do that to me.
You just got cooked there.
On the Electoral Commission website. All right, I will wait.
Okay. WA Electoral Commission.
Okay, you. Okay.
Oh, there is a count.
There is?
There is, and One Nation's ahead on primary.
Here we are. Just come in. Yeah, 43%.
43. Yeah.
On the three candidate.
Let me see where the booth is.
Why don't the poll
bludger? Oh, it's postals. It's postals.
Okay, that's kind of fair.
Why don't the poll bludger have it in?
Just keep refreshing. It'll come.
Okay.
They do. It took them a few seconds to load it in.
Okay, there we go. Here we go, guys. So,
It's ogre for the libs. They needed to win postals.
So, libs,
So
20%.
real.
yeah.
How many have we got there? It's a 1,200 vote dump.
Yeah.
What's the swing?
Okay, last time One Nation basically polled their 8%
Minus
or so.
60% swing to libs. From libs.
Labor got nearly 50% of the postals last time, and the Libs got 25%.
Yeah.
So the postals were actually pretty representative. But this is one dump. There should be like 5,000 or so by the end of the count.
But yeah, minus 22% on Labor.
I think
Pretty brutal.
this win probability is probably not very accurate. It's just
Oh, for sure, totally.
There'll be a post by William Bow in like 5 minutes saying, "Don't trust it."
Why is
That's so real.
Why is there no bingo board this time? Do I have to make a bingo board for
I
everything?
forgot to design one. But like, no, because it's just one by-election, so I don't really need to.
My sound is terrible. How can I improve my sound? Please let me know.
Are you talking about Aussies or me?
Or me.
Everyone's sound. Oz elections.
I have microphone issues.
I do need to get a new microphone though. I will say that. So,
yeah. Sounds like cope.
Everything is cope. Everything is cope.
Everything is cope.
All the other parties that ran last time are getting a swing against, except for One Nation, by the way. And the informal rate is very slightly up on those postals.
Improve voice. Improve voice.
You guys can hear me fine though, right?
I apologize. My voice is very nasally. I can't do anything about it quite yet. So apologies.
Excuses.
Maybe one day. Hard. We are on. I don't know what that means. I guess we are on in the terms of we are getting results, but at the moment we only have postals.
Nothing else, though.
It is way too early to say anything, but yeah.
Well, it's not too early to say anything.
To say much.
No, exactly. It's like it's like saying it's never too late, you know.
Plus 27.7% swing to One Nation, so the One Nation surge is real. And
of course.
Labor's down 23%, so it is real.
Obviously, that's.
How long till we get other numbers?
The surge is obviously real.
Hopefully soon. I wasn't expecting the first booth to come in to be a batch of postals.
It is a bit
just going to dump
weird.
Tools and then just hold us off from the actual date.
This is like a
stop the count.
This is a Florida moment. They're doing the postals first.
Well, that's the thing. In the US, do they start counting some of the postals in like pre-poll or?
It depends on the state, right? Depends on the state.
Yeah, different, I guess.
Do we think that like should there be provision for them in like a federal election, for example, to start counting pre-polls at like 3 p.m. on election day? What do you guys think? It's just a thought bubble.
I mean, I wouldn't be against it, but I think that, the slippery slope people would say there's room for, if that gets leaked, to have implications on the actual results. So I don't think it's, I don't think it's really necessary. I'll act like a Labour shield at the moment and say like, oh, the status quo is fine. It's not broken. Don't fix it. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, exactly. Fish 29077. Will One Nation defend the GST share for Western Australia? Depends. At one point they want to basically slash Tasmania's GST share, and then they backtracked on that. And then in the past they've historically been semi-supportive of WA, but then Labor's saying that they're not, and so it's all murky. So it's like, who knows?
Oh, guys, prayers for Paul Gullen, independent. He got 1 vote out of that postal dump.
Well, let's go. Yo.
Paul Gullen.
3 votes for independent, 15. So, whatever that is. No, don't worry. He'll get the provisionals and the mobile. So.
The mobile.
He probably will. Like, let's be real. Like, we never know.
Anything interesting in in the other parties. Like, what are shooters, fishers, and farmers doing here?
Honestly, I don't know. They're just another right party. They're just here.
There was the other minor parties that I heard talked about the most were Australian Christians, who are on 2.3, and legalised cannabis 3.0. The Greens are slightly down, but nothing
No,
meaningful.
of course, yeah.
Oh, we really needed those results. This was descending fast.
Real.
Okay, so I don't like calling it compulsory preferential because people get confused because they think I'm talking about compulsory voting. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about...
No, yeah.
I mean, the technical term is compulsory preferential voting, but that people get confused when I say that. So, yeah.
Could
I call
they-
it instant runoff compulsory.
Could they count pre-poll after on the Friday night and then like just do it behind closed doors, report the results provisionally, and then have like a separate recount?
Yeah,
that
that's
is
totally
scrutineered?
possible. That's totally possible.
It's gonna get leaked. It's gonna get leaked. The results gonna get leaked. So it's not safe. So we have to keep the integrity of our elections, Max. We can't let ourselves turn into the US.
You need scrutineers. No, there would be scrutineers accountable. There would just be a provisional result posted, and then
they'll get to it later. Yeah.
yes.
Oh yeah, full
That's
preferential is
really close.
a better word.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think I should call
That would also be a great way to work out what the two candidate count should be as well, to get the right pairing.
Exactly.
That's a very interesting Swifty theory. I really would have thought that you would have been a fan of OPV, but okay, interesting.
So,
Optional, yeah, but then again, like, there's the whole debate, like, on just compulsory voting in general. So,
yeah, I know. It's sort of the natural conclusion that you make people number every box. But I don't know. I mean, I like the idea of OPV, but as for what gives maybe like a better, more representative result, I guess that's when
it would make Australian politics a little bit more populist, though. I think in the long term.
what if you combined OPV with group voting tickets?
Oh no! Don't say that. No. Winner takes all tickets. Like the Senate used to be back in the 1920s.
Well, that's kind of how Victoria was, right? In the upper house before the reforms. So.
But as in like to vote, like if you I don't know.
To vote in the lower house, you have group voting tickets. Is that well?
As in, if you don't label any preferences, the party you voted for gets to.
If you just put one, Hello, have the Liberals won yet?
I don't know.
The Liberals are on 18.8%, but I think
we need block voting. That's what it is.
I think block voting is terrible. I think
we love it. That's what
the Liberals will
get like almost wipeouts, you know?
overtake the Labor with legalized cannabis preferences, Greens preferences, Libertarian preferences, Australian Christians preferences, animal justice preferences.
Like, no. Everyone's trying to kill me from saying that. Oh, block voting's fun. I don't know why Australia had that for so long. So dumb.
I feel like America, if the US ever changes electoral systems, they'll go for like block voting. I think they'll be like, oh yeah, this is revolutionary. This is like the new step up.
No. Block voting was so cooked in the Senate here. Like there was like, I got the 1920 Senate election, 1919 Senate election. You had like 17 seats won by 35 seats by the Nationalists, one by Labor. So Labor only had one seat in the Australian Senate. Despite getting 42% of the vote compared to 46 for the Nationalists. Like how does it, like what? That's like literally America, bro. That's winner takes all. So cooked.
If we weren't in the middle of results, I'd show you guys my UK electoral reform stuff, but we are in the middle of results.
Bro, someone's saying feudalism. No.
That's actually what Max here wants, because he's a libertarian, because it leads to feudalism. So. Yeah,
but it's not really a state. It's
Well, in my opinion, feudalism is basically just like ultra anarcho-capitalism, except
it's not a nation state like.
But it wouldn't look the same these days because of technology.
In society.
Well, it's not that. I don't think it really worked in the first place. I think it was a mess.
Exactly.
But it would look completely different.
It did, but in the context of
it would look completely different with the technology that we have, and
Amiga, to answer your question, I would think at the close of polls on polling day is when you would release the provisional pre-poll results.
Yeah. But I think
the RBA.
the argument against that would be that somebody's going to leak it or something. So yeah.
Yeah, which is why you couldn't have it scrutinied provisionally. You'd have to do that after. But I don't. It's all just because I want quicker results.
All right, I'm just going to keep on refreshing the page. Can we confirm that there is actually results?
I'm going to the electoral website as well.
I've refreshed it like 4 times.
No, nothing yet. Maybe in another half minute.
WA secession.
Everyone was talking about this. This is my thing. Yeah, look here. You didn't read the terms and conditions in our constitution. We're one indissoluble commonwealth. You've got to suck with it. So do what you do best. Put the coal and rocks back on the train and get to work.
Yeah, WA, they tried to succeed.
Work for the East. Get to work.
They tried to secede and they weren't allowed to, right? Like
yeah, they were denied because
80 years ago.
The UK reminded you guys that this is one indissoluble commonwealth. Lol, you can't leave. Read the terms and conditions next time, buddy.
What about Alberta independence?
That's a separate case because it's weird stuff.
I don't think it's going to happen.
No, but is it like technically possible in their constitution? Because they did try and do like Quebec, so
probably. Do they even have a constitution, or is it one of these like make believe?
Yeah, they do, but it's a unity state. But they do have a.
Oh yeah, they do. It's the make believe ones is New Zealand and UK, right? Where it's
and the UK. Well, yeah, it's a lot of conventions.
Also,
principles.
I find it really stupid. Sorry to interrupt. I find it really stupid that in Victoria, right, they embedded those regions into the constitution, right?
They embedded local councils into the constitution.
Okay, but they embedded the regions into the constitution without a referendum. But if you want to change it, you need a referendum. How did that work? How do you?
They did it at their founding, I guess, or
no? It was like in the 90s or something, right, or the 80s.
Maybe 2006.
Yeah.
Maybe the government.
How that shouldn't be allowed. How can you put something into the constitution without a referendum, but then to take it out you need a referendum? That doesn't.
Maybe they made a referendum for the future, like a thing in the future, so you have to have a referendum for it.
No, but that's just not right, in my opinion. That doesn't seem right.
Well, but did the government have a supermajority to put that through, or just a simple majority?
I would assume that there was just a simple majority in the upper house that they did that. So that's not right. No. I only heard about that like a couple of months ago, and that just pissed me off because
I find it funny that like local councils, the only thing guaranteed in every state except Victoria is that they exist. But like technically, the state governments could like make like the most one-sided voting system and make it like Soviet style, or they could just take away all their rights, so they can't actually do anything.
Sky
like
30.
They're not actually guaranteed.
It's looking terrible for Labor. Well, we've only got some postal votes, as far as I know. I don't think there's any electoral commission votes out yet.
It's a bad early dump, that's for sure.
Yeah.
They have no business polling 25% in a state like this. It does need to improve.
Do you think Victorian Socialists will get an LC seat in the Vic election? I think it's possible in...
Yeah, very sure. Very
possible. It's hard.
It's hard, but it is possible in the Northern Metropolitan. And possibly even the Western Metropolitan. But, I mean, I think it's unlikely, but it's possible, I think it's more possible now that they've got rid of group voting tickets, actually, so...
we need local government reform. All major cities should have.
No, we don't want a state within a state. We don't want a state within a state. That's too big.
But isn't the Brisbane City Council like quite well run?
Yeah, but like
they have low rates,
but they have more powers than they were granted more powers at the state.
We've got votes in, and Paul Bludge is already giving it to One Nation.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, like Brisbane's like the only council in Australia that operates as if it was a parliament, which is so weird.
Okay, hang on. So
there's the I think it's the CBD pre-poll has come in. That's
right.
Western Australian Electoral Commission.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what the heck is what is Western Australian Electoral Commission poll? What?
I think that's like Perth CBD.
So what is that?
It's like an absent booth.
Oh, okay, that's weird. Yeah.
And more.
But wouldn't that just be in the absent vote category instead of like?
Why? Well, it's its own booth.
Why are the Liberals getting so much here? That's what I would.
It's only 217 votes. It's I don't know,
okay.
office workers or something. But the postals, we've got like double the amount of postals. So
This must be really old people because look at this Liberal vote, like 99. It's like twice as much as One Nation. That it must be like
They just
the
rusted
oldest
on
people.
members.
Yeah. Because Gen X's vote One Nation. They're the big One Nation membership, right? The Gen X's, right? So I would imagine these are like really old boomers, like the over 70s. So.
Well, it's obviously just going to be an unrepresentative sample because it's whoever decided to vote in the CBD.
Right. Okay. So I don't know why. I don't think Poll Bludger is right to give this to One Nation yet. I think this might be.
It's just his model. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a glitch. It's a glitch. It's not actually. I mean, we've got some commentary here, so.
He says, "My system is calling it, but I wish it wasn't."
Yeah.
Anyways, Lucas Better says.
So
Governments are cooked, local govs cooked. How can we fix it? Just amalgamate councils, but don't overly concentrate them. So, like 5 million people are represented by one council. It should still be quite divided. Well, like Tasmania has like 20 or 30 councils for like 500,000 people. That's ridiculous in terms of administration.
I feel like you could have a lot of wards, but not as much duplication of.
Exactly, you don't need that many authorities like Tassie. You just need one Greater Hobart, one Launceston, and a couple of regionals, and that's it. Like about 6 to 8 at max. It's just so dumb. But like Queensland's the worst case. Like that's going too far in terms of centralisation.
You think that's too far?
Yeah, because it's way too many people to represent. And even though like people say they are effective and stuff,
I think.
But then they have a lot more political leverage.
The wards could be
see that in the state political dynamic where there's a lot more interest focused in the city than the regional areas, more so than in other states.
I think the NIMBYs would go fucking nuts if you had one giant Sydney council. Like they would go crazy.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Imagine that.
Dominated council, by the way.
Imagine people in Western Sydney deciding the fate of like building apartments in like the Northern Beaches. They would go completely nuts.
Yeah.
Like they would be like, "What the fuck?" So I actually think it would be a good idea, but your microphone sounds like a spaceship, by the way, Max, at the moment.
So
just an FYI. I think it would be a good idea because, like there is a lot of issues of NIMBYism in Sydney.
Not the cookie guy. They still think they're voting for Menzies. Were they even alive when he was like,
what do I think is more? No, I think probably ABC is. I mean, anything that it's closer is more accurate. I think at the moment because it's just so early and we only have this. Oh, we've actually got an actual pop booth, by the way.
Let's go.
All right.
No, we've got
Port Kennedy,
and it is ALP and One Nation's ahead, obviously.
The Greens have done quite well on that one.
This is the area. This is the.
100.
This is the sort of the white working class area that you said was very anti-voice, right?
Yep.
And One Nation up 24% here. Greens are like you said they're doing well, up 1%. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Geez, that chat poll is cooked.
There is okay. Just on this poll, Port Kennedy Primary School, it's taken half the votes that it did last election.
Taken half the votes. Okay, so so turnout is massively down, basically.
Just on the day voting is down.
So
okay. One thing I forgot to mention this in the preamble was that about 35% of the votes here in this electorate last election were either postals or absent, meaning an absence were I think pre-poll centres in neighbouring seats. So I think the Port Kennedy pre-poll is going to take a crap ton of votes, and it's going to take until like midnight to count it.
Tally Room website is down, so there's so many Twitter Zoomies accessing to add to their little vibe code election models that the Tally Room has gone down. They're probably all sourcing it from that website too, so that's probably why.
Yeah, and they've probably got like scripts running in the background.
Yeah,
the data.
Exactly. Yeah, like this is. I mean, I feel like this is a uniquely Australian. Oh, I don't know, maybe not. So, but the Tally Room obviously is not expecting it. Yeah,
no.
Whatever's going on. We got another one. We got another booth out. Pommet Bay College. This is like right in the middle. And One Nation are up even more here.
Oh, they're surging there,
30%.
Doing well.
Labour 22. Green's not doing as well here.
Again,
Yeah, it looks like Polpo just calling a One Nation game.
yeah, again, like the amount of formal votes is well down, from 1,300 down to about 800. But this was a booth that Labor won 66% of the 2PP.
Wow.
Yeah, it's looking pretty devastating. Damn. So, I remember.
But does this really reflect? I mean, a lot of the nation. It's interesting though. It does show that the Western Australians do have not necessarily trust, but they consider One Nation as a.
Well, it's also showing that all the shenanigans about immigration, people just don't give a shit. They're just willing to vote One Nation anyway. You know, it's like I don't.
That's
like,
interesting.
Don't care voting Pauline anyway. Like they don't give a shit.
You wouldn't think immigration's a massive issue in WA, would you? Like.
Well, I mean that's why people vote One Nation, right? Like they're just like.
No, not just that.
Well, what are
because they're like I've talked about this before. They're just the vehicle of the protest vote that has momentum. That's so powerful, way more powerful than any like personal policy.
And that's a shit candidate.
It's also knowing a party as well. If it's in your head and stuck in your head, you're probably gonna vote for it.
So not to be crass, but if somebody was to give like a sort of an artist's depiction of a Karen, it would probably be this lady here. The what's the name? Georgia Tree. And I think Australia generally has a bit of a Karen fatigue at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I wouldn't call Pauline a Karen. She's more of she's a Pauline, obviously. I mean, she's a bit too old to be a Karen.
It's its own class. Call them Paulines.
I don't know much about this candidate, but she looks like a Karen, and I feel like that's enough to annoy people.
Yeah, I think that's annoying people. I wouldn't vote for someone that looks like a Karen.
At this point in time. So, that people vote One Nation because they don't like immigration. Well, that's what I'm saying, right? Because that's been all over the place for them in the last couple of like last week or two, especially. But
even if that was the case, are people really that hung up on whether it's like 130k net? Are people that worried about the actual numbers?
Well, Inky 140.
You got an accusation.
Inky 40. No. Okay, let me clear the air. Okay, I don't hate women. I just don't like Karens. Okay, that's it. That's it. I just don't like Karens.
Mate, you're being cancelled. It doesn't matter what you say. It's over, mate. I've been done for. Delete your channel, buddy.
I've been me too'd. A Pauline is worse than a Karen. Well, it's different to a Karen. So how is that not just misogyny, mate? Because I mean, not all women are Karens. You know, all Karens. I mean, no, I would say even some men are Karens.
Oh, he's on the defensive side.
I would say that men can be Karens too. Okay, so
they're called Kevins. They're called Kevins, buddy.
Yeah. Well, no, Kevin. Okay, Kevin Wright is definitely not a Karen, right?
Yeah, but he can be called Kevin, but it doesn't mean you're a Kevin. That's the thing.
Realize your vote just collapsed. Wasting my time. You lost one of the safest. Why are you saying you? I'm not a Labour. I mean, no, I'm not a Labour.
It's not Labour. Like, what is this on about?
Okay.
I think that there was definitely a perception about the Labour candidate because not only was it wasn't just the Woodside past, it was also
Karen was getting deleted.
It was also
Karen
that
is an alternative to Karen. Sorry, I mean, I'm just loving these comments. Bro. You guys are good.
Anyway, she also lived in Inner Perth. She lives like 60 kilometers away. So she was shunted in. It was convenient for Labor, but it didn't go down well, and they probably didn't expect the seat to be so competitive.
Yeah, so it's pretty much over. It looks like Labor has been defeated. I did not expect it to be this much of a blowout. Absolutely not. Like I still thought Labor were going to win, but
I thought it was going to be marginal.
This is crazy. This is proof that the One Nation experiment is absolutely continuing. It's on the rise. Like it's not failing at any point, right? There's a lot of smart people.
Mark like, give a professional, mate. This is an election, not a pub chat with your dodgy mates.
Look. The whole politics is the pub, okay? So
exactly, like
and to ignore the anti-Karenness of Australian politics at the moment is to ignore reality. So yeah, Jess Wilson. Okay, so Jess Wilson, right? Look, this is my thing, right? I feel like this is why I'm still a bit skeptical about Victorian Labour. Victorian Liberals, right? Okay, I don't think she's a quintessential Karen, but she is a bit of a Karen. So that's what makes me think like maybe that she doesn't have as much of a chance as a lot of people say. I know she's popular, but she is sort of a representation of that sort of what would you call it? Like the the institutions, right? She is still sort of a representation of the institutional and that sort of that that's that image, you know. So I'm she's not really pro bureaucracy, but she is pro institutions. So
yeah, that's quite a different thing, anyways. So
yeah. Jess Wilson is how you overcome Owen Peter. Well, we'll see about that. You know,
I don't know about that. We'll see about that.
Yeah, Ben Carroll is a bit of a Karen. Actually, he is a bit of a male Karen.
Yeah, he is. He's a Kevin.
Yeah. No, he's not a Kevin. He's his own thing. He's a Ben. Okay.
He's a Darren. Okay, he's a Darren. He's a Darren.
I don't think Darrens are a Karen, a male
what
Karen.
name is there, man? You're getting rid of all my options. Like, come on.
The Labour leader refused to let the Karen speak at the media event. Well, he's already a Karen anyway. So, okay. So back to professionalism. Max, what do you think about these results? What's your?
I definitely still want to see some more results. If I'm honest, it's still a pretty early count. There's too many postals in it for me to take it like fully seriously.
They've renamed it to mobile polling, so that makes more sense because that's all the nursing homes basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why it's like overwhelmingly liberal. So.
So it wasn't the CBD booth. It was
it was nursing homes. So
came through.
Which pretty much that was basically our thesis anyway. So.
Yep, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, but I can't imagine that things will change much in these other boos. We've got like two big representations of the electorate up here, which is the white working class area, down here, which is the slightly less socially conservative, but still maybe less working class as well area down here. I doubt things are going to really change much. We've in both places. We've got
the other commentators like Bonham is also saying that this is looking very healthy for One Nation.
Yeah,
it is.
I'd be interested to see the preference flows because as much as the result, I was really interested to see what would happen when Liberal preferences distributed.
Yeah.
Anything less than sort of 70%, and I think that's not the best for One Nation.
I don't know why William Bowe is saying the mobile result is a big outlier, attending different places last time. Oh, the result must be different to last time, but I thought it would just be...
Oh, no, well, mobile polling will never capture the same people each time.
Okay.
That's why. You can't compare them.
Right. No. I thought it would just be every time it'd be nursing homes.
But it's not the same people. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, the Iceland EU referendum's on at the same time. That's right.
What?
Yeah, it's very interesting.
As in right now?
Yeah, I think so, or it's happening very soon. So, it's like, there's been like news stories in the weeks about it, so... It's insane how like a country that only that has a population smaller than Tasmania is more successful than Tasmania. But you know. And also they have a very similar industry. Metal smelting, cheap energy. Well, Tasmania used to have cheap energy, and fishing. Big things for Tassie, all of those. A little bit of agriculture stuff. So. Yeah, Icelanders head to the polls. That was 6 hours ago, so they should be getting results in very soon.
We don't have the actual CCP. I don't think they've actually started counting preferences yet. But we can make a guess based on, I guess, like some.
One Nation's polling 35%. They're in a good running to win, especially with Liberals up almost 20%. So.
Well, I don't think we need One Nation, but we definitely need Labour to be. At the very least, Labour to be afraid of One Nation, and we need the left to start realizing that they can't just keep on doing the same shit over and over again, and like the Greens, right?
Ruth Rees said someone in Labour Party today bet $1,600 on Georgia Tree winning. Yeah, I would never bet on money on that. It's gotta be so.
Yeah, I'm very glad I did not put any money on this.
The last time I bet money was the 2025 election, and I'm just not willing to be wrong. Ever. So.
I haven't gambled in ages. Oh, by the way, guys, I said that if One Nation wins, I would open a can of cider. So I think this is time that I do that. So I'll be right back.
Yep.
Okay. There was actually some, like it was a very weak market today. in terms of the bookies.
Obvious, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the
It's not much. It's not a big market in Australia in general. Like federal election, that's about it. Maybe a
yeah,
couple state elections, maybe New South Wales and like Victoria, but like even then, it's really just Fed.
yeah, but there was like genuine arbitrage out there today. It was crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
And different, like Bet365 started the day like 1.57 Labour and they ended up 2.0. So
Wow.
all of the late money came in for One Nation.
Yeah. Just searching.
Oh, we actually have a count, by the way.
New one.
No, the
Like
two
a preference. Yeah.
yeah preference count and it's very close.
Oh yeah, because I was putting my not bets on, but I was just saying that it was probably going to be marginal, very close, or at least within 5%. Where's Paul Ledger?
Well, okay, so why is Paul Ledger saying the projected 2C? I mean, he's obviously seeing that the boosts that come in.
It's because we have a count.
I know, but I assume that the boosts that come in are more favourable to Labor than he expected the full result.
It's right? The day boosts that are in.
Yeah.
So we don't have those postals.
No, it's ogre for Labor. It's ogre. It's ogre. It's over.
It's ogre and over.
It's ogre. I mean, like they're
and Jova.
One Nation of one. It's ogre.
I don't know. Like, look at the preference flows as a percentage. Labor's getting 60% of the total preferences.
But I mean,
one Joe Biden.
I mean, I'm curious to see what his like commentary is of this of the preferences, but
yeah,
gambling is bad, kids. Yeah, we don't endorse gambling, obviously.
I remember the days where I used to talk about
I received $16 million like Labour Party does. So
I used to talk about gambling on Solomon streams, and he used to get really annoyed about that. So.
Yeah, which is understandable.
I'd say, oh yeah, I won $200 on this election, and he would get so pissed off. Yeah. How's it possible that One Nation wins a seat when the media told me it was over for them not winning the PM? I guess the voters are just racist or something. Well, as Max said, it's the protest vote. I mean, at the moment we've got like fuel prices like north of 200 cents a dollar, and it seems that the balloon inflating is continued inflating. I thought like what happened in South Australia would be sort of the peak of One Nation actually. So I'm actually surprised. So this is showing that it's definitely not over for them.
Yeah. Also, answering some of the comments, the reason why we probably talk about gambling a little bit is because just like polling and Polymark and other things,
it's absolutely relevant.
They're another relevant source of information because it indicates public sentiment, and more often than not, these markets end up announcing. Well, they actually end up announcing results before news outlets do. So it's really interesting how that all plays out. But yeah. They're just another source of info for us.
Will you cover the US midterms? There's like a billion channels covering.
There's a billion channels, man. There's like hundreds of creators.
I mean, we could theoretically do a live stream on that, but like we
would actually be during the day.
Even Canada would be more of a better. It would just have better.
We would be competing with like 1,000 other YouTubers if we did
There's no point. A
live stream.
And we're Australian as well. Like
we'd be making the worst takes because we're Australian. Exactly. We're like, oh, this guy with the funny haircut won this seat or something.
Yeah, exactly. So. And like the only thing we could say is how it's relevant to Australia, but like there's nothing really we can say about that. Like there's nothing like AUKUS won't change. So like what else really does apart from tariffs? There's nothing else to talk about. But like Canada and like New Zealand and stuff, yeah, definitely because like they're quite a bit more relevant, and like the UK. But like even then, the UK like that's kind of stretching.
The DSA has destroyed any hope of the Dems winning. Well, I'm not going to get into that, and you're not going to even with a can of cider. Oh, thank you very much, Jessica.
Oh, that's lucky.
38 Hong Kong dollars. I actually don't know what the conversion rate is, but I do believe that
do it for you.
This is the case, and based on polling numbers, Labor's vote will hold on very well in inner city area like Bennelong and Tangi.
It's only six. It's only $6 Australian. No, it's something.
Only. That's nice. Thank you very much.
It's wonderful.
Oh no, thank you very much. And
so nice. Thank you.
I'm curious though why you think that on these numbers Labor will hold on in Bennelong and Tangi though. Like, is there something about the Asian vote that you're seeing here? I'm not sure. What do you like? Do you get?
Maybe because statewide or national polling is showing much less of a swing against than what the early results here are. That might be the rationale.
Swapping Tangney and Ben along for Brand and Hunter. Well, yeah, I know. I think Labor's in trouble in those places in federally.
Oh, for sure. That region's very, very vulnerable.
Yeah. Yeah, Brand is very interesting. It's it's that white working class mortgage belt, very much the mortgage belt. As far as, at least according to the census in 2021, it was a big mortgage belt area. And
well, you'll get updates soon on that, hopefully.
People with mortgages are not happy at the moment because their price of their houses are going down. So, Tangney is so liberal. Well, it's like a
7% Labor seat, isn't it now?
Yeah, it's now a Labor seat, very much.
A lot of seats in Australia are just liberal in general, or economically liberal. Social issues, a bit different.
If you go to Riverton or Harrisdale, you will play Spot the Aussie. It's going Labor. Is this which seat are you talking? Oh, Tangney, right? Okay, yeah.
If Labor continues, there'll be no super. Does
Well,
someone want to tell him? Does someone want to tell him who introduced him?
Yeah. Well, actually, the whole what's interesting to me is the Chinese population, if they are pro One Nation or they're not pro One Nation, right? So, or I should say the East Asian in general, right? Like we saw that One Nation guy talk Japanese today, which I found very amusing. And there is an argument that the Chinese voters they are on board with the monoculture stuff because they are very pro sort of integrating themselves. But we haven't really seen. I mean, there's no real strong sort of Chinese enclave in South Australia, so we haven't really seen a good test of the Chinese vote yet. So that's one thing
we did in 2025 when they abandoned the coalition.
It would have been it would have been a factor in Stir, no? The Chinese vote.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean at the state, in parts of Stir? I mean, I don't think it's very Chinese. Like, I've been to. I used to live in Adelaide, and that area, like, sure, there's more of a Chinese population there than other parts of Adelaide. But if you compare it to somewhere like Box Hill or Ashwood, like it's or Bennelong or any of that area, it's nothing. So, yeah, I'll be very curious about the Victorian election to see how that Chinese vote goes, if it's going to be pro One Nation or not, and then. But I think some immigrants will definitely warm to One Nation more than other immigrant populations. Obviously, it depends how many generations they are as well, but also where they're from.
What is this superannuation discussion in chat, man? Like, there's some people are cooking. I'm telling you.
I love how the superannuation has become this whole topic recently. I mean,
yeah, but it's not like you control where most of it goes.
I've seen seen someone talk on Twitter about how it's good for the Australian economy because most of it is in Australian shares. So as opposed to
but you'll be happy to know that most of it doesn't go into housing or investment housing, like all that sort of stuff. Only a small amount, like a couple percent.
There's another booth where One Nation are up 23, Labor down 26. Yeah, pretty bad. Yeah.
Me personally, I invest internationally more.
I invested in Australian rare earth mineral stocks, and the projected
that's fair enough.
2CP has come in massively now on Paul Blood.
Oh, let's go. What we got?
But he's still projecting a One Nation game.
Oh, for sure.
So you were
51 wow, okay.
You were right, Max, as usual.
Don't say that just yet.
I was as well. I said it was going to be marginal.
Oh, yeah, okay, so Jared Rennick, right, before today, I would have thought that it would have, One Nation is struggling, they're a bit of a mess, and someone like Jared Rennick would be someone to pick up the pieces. But it seems that One Nation will live for quite a while just simply because of the fact that the vibe is there, the momentum is there, and they haven't completely fallen apart yet. So,
I think these March for Australia rallies are really boosting support right now. So,
but yeah, I'm curious. Leak guess B9R about the East Asian, particularly Japanese, Koreans, and One Nation, how they feel about it. So, because I think the monoculture thing would definitely appeal to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like actually, this is interesting because we were sort of in unison the other week, maybe about a month or two ago, Max. That like some of the stuff that Pauline Hanson was going on about, especially when she was around Tommy Robinson, would have her her wrecked, right? We thought it was Ogre, right? Thank you very much, Justin01. I know a Vic Let Lib candidate in a safe seat attended a special needs school. Interesting. That's some insider info right there. Did you know that, Max?
No, no, I didn't.
Well, there we go. We've just been paid and given like a massive lead.
Yeah, I think I'll need to give that money back, Justin, if I want to find out who that is. So I think that's the intention.
Exactly, otherwise a conflict of interest, you know. Like,
in order for me to be able to update my model, you know, specifically for that scene.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Anyway, what we're saying is during the Tommy Robinson saga, we like me and Max and I think maybe even you, Heath, were saying like, oh, she's toast, like it's Ogre. But I mean, it's clearly not.
in a ways.
It's clearly not the fact.
I wouldn't say it was over for like the party. I'd say in terms of trying to build its broaden its appeal to more of the center and even some light.
I mean, I feel like there's probably a lot of people in the quote unquote center in a seat like Secret Harbour, right? And they've smashed it. So well,
but at the same time, is like how closely is One Nation WA like connected to the federal party? You know,
doesn't matter. It's it's the brand, right?
Or it is the brand.
And federal issues were coming up on the doorstep as well.
Yeah,
well, yeah,
of course.
Yes.
I think it's just becoming more and more sort of like, I mean, like state politics. All the time, federal politics bleeds into it all the time. Like,
yeah,
I don't know if it doesn't.
It depends. Tasmania doesn't really. Like we've seen that clearly.
I don't know if it's more than. I don't know if it's more than usual that state politics is bleeding into federal politics and vice versa, but I mean, it clearly does, right?
I think Western Australia is maybe the most like relevant example with that because I mean, there's always been a historical federal divide and stuff, and federal issues impacting WA. And
so
state issues been mixed up. So I guess I could say you're right on that.
So Justin, on 01 again, thank you for the super chat, but he says Max Williams, candidate for Rowville, is the alleged special needs candidate. For the Liberal Party. Have you heard about that,
Okay.
Max?
I haven't, but we've got a new booth in, by the way, Medora Bay Primary School. It's the biggest booth.
Okay.
On the day that's reported.
Yep.
One Nation's on 38%.
Yeah.
Labor's on 23. Liberals on nearly 20.
Yeah, and it's ticked up 52%.
Yeah, this was one of Labor's weakest booths last election, though, and the total amount of votes is actually up this time.
Yeah.
From 950 to about 1100.
Jessica
another $6.
Sends another 38 Hong Kong dollars. Thank you. I'm actually curious about what will happen after Pauline premiership because Bradfield, where I live, could be independent 20% margin law. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if the Teals are going to strengthen up at the next federal election. I'm not sure about that. I don't know how they're going to go.
Yeah, it all depends, man.
Like that, people who live up in the Northern Beaches, North Shore, they're weird kind of people. Like they're
yeah, they are.
They're sort of
a lot of very wealthy people as well.
Wealthy, woke, very disconnected from the rest of Australia, like the mood of the rest of Australia. So, I could really see it going either way.
Interestingly, really. It's where a lot of the media moguls are from.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's probably why they're so out of touch with,
real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like all love to people in Northern Beaches and North Shore, but definitely very different people to the rest of Australia, I'd say.
Secret Harbour Primary School, was that booth in before?
I don't think so. No.
So that one's in.
We've got another 25% swing against Labor, 30% swing to One Nation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Teals are peaked, and if they're going to continue their sort of, they need to actually morph into a party that actually has values and opinions and isn't just like, we're
a vibe party right now.
Yeah, we're woke and rich, like,
Yeah, and it's like we're like Malcolm Turnbull liberals, but not really. Like, you know,
Millions must attend their son's soccer games. Says Punish Pinecone. What were you gonna say, Max? Sorry.
For me, it's a red flag that not many of them got big swings on primary to them as sophomores.
yeah.
Although the only thing that complicates that is most of, or if not all, the teal seats were subject to redistributions.
Yeah, even Franklin.
Yeah. But like the Melbourne seats changed a lot. The North Sydney seats, they lost one. They all kind of converged on North Sydney. Yeah. So it's sort of hard to tell exactly what happened.
There is a lot of hate here, though. Stop the hate law. I've got nothing against people from the North Shore. Luke is better. I'm just saying you're different. You're a different kind of breed to the rest of Australia. That's all I'm saying. So they're your own thing, you know.
Yeah.
I don't have hate for anyone. Australia's Southeast Asian population by a large model Australians when it comes to assimilation. So One Nation monoculture affairs. Yeah, that's another group of Australians, Southeast Asians. Absolutely, very integrative. But I think they're not quite. I don't think they have the same. One Nation have the same appeal as the East Asians. With the Southeast Asians. Like we're talking like I see like Werriwa, right?
Yeah.
I think that's less likely to swing towards One Nation than a seat like, I don't know, Bennelong, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, okay, it's more working class. Okay, sorry, no, you're right. Okay, if we had a working class equivalent East Asian, right, that would swing more than a working class Southeast Asian seat. Do you understand what I'm saying? Or do we? I mean, is there a working class East Asian seat? Does that exist?
Not sure.
Max, does that exist?
Small. They're pretty small communities.
Okay, exactly. Okay, so we don't really have like a good sort of metric to go on, but
well, keep an eye out for a seat like in Victoria, a seat like St Albans then.
Right. So that's full of a lot of Vietnamese. It's
yeah.
It's a very sort of Vietnamese area.
Yeah. I think I've been there and there's Vietnamese places here and there and that kind of area. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty common in Melbourne, but still.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm just seeing if we have any more boobs.
About 20% of the counting, so a proper amount of votes in.
Mm-hmm.
One Nation's leading the primary vote by about 10%. So Labor has a big gap to try and close.
And the projected 2CP is 52.6 as well. So
yeah, has that been adjusted for the flows that have come in?
I would assume so.
Oh, I'm not exactly sure it has. I think William Bowe probably would have hard-coded in his estimate of how preferences would flow, and I'm not sure if there's enough booths on 2CP in to actually start for his system to start picking it up.
I know an East Asian working class seat, whatever state seat contains Sunnybank in Brisbane. Where's Sunnybank? Does anyone know?
Oh, is that
it's the bank that is sunny in Brisbane. That's all I know.
Well, would that be like Palaszczuk's old seat, like Inala kind of area?
Would that be like one of those, like Oxley or something?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I love how people like donating you just trying to like broadcast their agenda.
Okay, Joel Dalton 473. Thank you for the $5. North Shore
That sounds like a Roger Cook line.
North Shore, Sydney, and Canberra do not understand the rest of Australia. Look, I don't know. Okay, I agree that they don't have the same views as the rest of Australia, and they're not necessarily in touch with how the rest of Australia feels. I agree that they're sort of like an enclave. So with that, I agree with you. Maybe they understand them, but they look down on them, or they think that they're not quite as they're not that maybe they don't know as much or something, you know. But yeah, I'm not sure if they don't understand them or they just I don't know. We're getting into semantics there.
I mean, Western Australians would most certainly agree.
So I'm curious, Max. You did like a little prediction map a while ago. Did you give Brand to One Nation?
No, but I think I had it very close.
Okay.
And that was months ago now. I need to do a new one. By the way, we've got a few new booths have reported on
Oh, we do.
two candidate preferred.
Oh, two. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Up here. Yep.
Yeah, one. Okay, so One Nation's won the Postals 55-45.
Okay.
So that's a big one.
Yeah,
and they're winning every other booth at this point now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're sailing in. 52, 54.
Yeah. There's one booth that Labor's won. It's just like sort of like a working class area.
Yeah, it kind of makes that.
Yeah.
That was the one with the big green vote. Yeah.
How small was their? How much did their margin get tapered down compared to last time in that area?
Oh.
This was
like if their majority. How much did their majority get cut down?
I just want to say that earlier on in the stream, Max was talking about the voice vote, right? This was the area where the voice vote was the most no, right? But this is like the area where Labour are still winning. So I think it's where Labour's still winning like boos, right? So clearly the voice referendum it's no longer just about social conservatism. It's about something else at this point, you know?
Yeah. I think it was also a bit silly of a metric to use. Like, I mean, for the short term, it might be viable, but liberals literally base a lot of their like strategy and a lot of their like sentiment with the public on that. Like,
so the rule of thumb is that One Nation runs about 15% behind the no vote in the voice.
Okay.
Port Kennedy is also where the pre-poll was.
Okay.
So there's like that booth is pretty weak compared to what the pre-poll vote might be.
Yeah.
So So are you saying that the pre-polls will be stronger for One Nation or weaker for One Nation?
I'm just saying there's a lot more pre-poll vote there.
Yeah.
The voice is a metric is
election,
complete nonsense.
Yeah.
I disagree.
No, it's not nonsense. It definitely worked for Farah.
Yeah.
Not everywhere. It's not everywhere. Though.
It's social conservatism. It's social conservatism. It lined up with It worked out. It lined up with the to a degree with the same-sex marriage plebiscite and the referendum for a republic as well. So to say that it's worth nothing is silly.
I think they're trying to talk about in terms of polling and seats in elections.
Well, no, not really, because
it worked well in South Australia.
Yeah,
yes,
and
it worked
I
quite
agree
well.
with that, but like in terms of the federal election, absolutely not. Others,
well, I mean, okay, as in like.
Yeah, like kind of, but not really.
It worked in the sense that you can if you minus a certain amount of the vote, you could make sort of an inference based on the voice what the result could be. It's just that it wasn't as lined up, like it didn't get as close as the Liberal Party obviously would have wanted, right? Like
because it doesn't correlate to the Liberal Party. That's the problem.
It doesn't. That's the thing.
It correlates to One Nation, not the Liberal.
You think so? You think it correlates to One Nation a lot more than it correlates to the Liberal Party? Okay, that's interesting.
100%.
Yeah, for sure.
There is no Discord server because I don't want to deal with moderation and the drama that will come with it, because there was always drama with Discord server.
Yeah, there's always
I have enough crap going on in my life about having to deal with a Discord server. So
means less videos, pretty much.
Well, it just means more.
Well, it's more work for you because.
Well, it's more headaches. It's more headaches at Discord server. So.
That's the thing, and like less videos in a way because you won't have the capacity. There's always gonna be something that will happen.
So
referendum for feudalism. What the fuck?
Lycicus, does this mean you're a teal voter if you don't conform to a political party because they're independents?
No.
You get too many OMP plants. Well, you never know these days. Like the people who get paid to go into Discord servers and try to convince people.
Exactly, or just pay influencers. Direct. Just do
okay, so Max, what does this mean for Ben Carroll's chance in November? What's your thoughts?
I was waiting for it. When was that going to come up? It's probably like a relevant question though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It means the threat is probably real in some of these seats that the Liberals can't win, but One Nation can. So and the margin isn't going to matter so much. Like, remember, this is a seat label. What was their margin? Like 11.5% going in.
Yeah, pretty solid.
And this is a popular government.
Yeah.
So it's bad. It just kind of proves what happened in South Australia, but that was marked by the fact that Labor did so well, or masked.
Yeah, exactly. It was really interesting how One Nation overperformed in the metropolitan compared to the rural areas, though. That was really interesting.
With certain outer suburban areas, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Victoria is a different population to Western Australia, but I mean, to sort of to say that there isn't sort of some kind of cultural homogeneity between all of Australia, would also be silly. And thank you again, Jessica. Honestly, I would trust the person voting One Nation right before the polling booth. Ultra Champagne Socialist vibe for me. HH. Why would you say that One Nation is for Champagne Socialists, or am I getting something wrong there?
Maybe National Socialists. No.
Well, look, I could see an argument for a leftist voting for One Nation, especially like if they believe that workers' wages will go up when immigration is lower, right? There's always
that was the Labor of the 50s and 60s or whatever, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I can understand why. I mean, I wouldn't call them champagne socialists. I'd call them like, I don't know, like the cheapest beer, like I don't know, like goon socialists.
Bro, why you got so many One Nation like shills in the chat, man?
There's always One Nation shills. They're happy, right? The big bad Labor has been defeated. The smug Labor shills.
Yeah, they've all come pouring in to let everyone know.
We'll start crying. Like, look, have your fun. Honestly, I'm sick of the Labor shills. I say welcome all the One Nation plans. All right, it is about time that these Labor shills need to be put in their place. All right, so let me say, these One Nation shills, welcome, and I greet you, and I'm very happy with you. I'm very happy for you to be here, and I prefer you honestly to these Labor shills who have been sat on their throne for so long, just clapping their hands, feeling smug about themselves. So, welcome, and I'm not against you. I'm not your enemy here. All right.
I guess it's better if we didn't have any shills. Let's be real.
You're saying I don't ban people who I disagree with. I disagree more with the Labor shills at this point than the One Nation shills, honestly. So and I'm not even right wing. I'm not right wing, right? But these Labor people are so complacent. And Jessica says gives them Hong Kong $15. That's a typo. It's a trash, actually. Trash. Like a trash socialist? Is that what you're saying? Like they're trash social? I don't know. Or champagne trash. I don't know. We're getting legalized cannabis shills in chat. The only people who legalize cannabis are people who I mean they're also protest votes, but they're stoners. So that's the difference. Yeah. Look. Okay, so Thomas Munner says that's the crash out, but these Labor people, it's finally come to an end, right? It's fine. They have to wake up today and realize, like, friendly Geordies need to put the smug smile away and realize it's over, all right? You can't just sit on your hands and think, oh, we could just continue, like, just being like,
yeah, but I can say the same for, like, Punters Politics and all these other influencers that keep shilling for their
true.
At least Friendly Geordies is honest on who he supports, let's be real. Like, and you don't have to watch him if you don't like it, but, like, he's honest. Like, many others who actually shill for other parties do, but they...
Okay, I agree
Didn't Punters have this big crash out over this girl being from Woodstock? Like, didn't he call that out?
Yeah.
He's definitely not I don't see him as a Labor shill.
I didn't say he was a Labor shill, but he's a shill for someone. That's the thing, and he's not honest of who exactly he's a shill of. Some people say Greens, some say someone else, or the Australia Institute. But, like, this is the thing.
Yeah, legalized cannabis are kind of a bit sort of left on the left side. They aren't libertarian, yeah. So arrogant. You just think One Nation voters are stupid. Keep thinking that, says Joel Jalton 473.
Who's he talking to? Who's he talking to?
I don't know who you're talking to. If you're talking to me, like, I just said that you guys are based, all right? I don't know what you're talking about.
I love how they're paying money for you just to insult you.
I don't know. That's fine by me. That's fine by me, okay?
Just keep saying it. One Nation voters are stupid. One Nation voters are stupid.
I'm not even saying that. And people are giving me donations saying that I'm saying that.
This is the new YouTube like strat to make money, guys.
Oh,
You just got to keep rating everyone. They'll just pay you to try and convince.
Well, I'm not even saying that's the thing. I'm not even saying they're stupid. I'm saying they're based, and now I'm getting money. I don't know. I don't know.
If you're talking about me, I don't like. I just think that people can be misinformed. That's both left and right. I'm not picking out one.
Our Aussies elect is now a charred right-wing grifter because that's what pays the bills.
Spam. Can we stop this guy spamming?
Okay, please stop spamming. Please, I don't want to ban anyone. I haven't banned anyone this whole time. Look,
I think we need moderation.
Look. Okay,
That's why we don't have Discord
we've lost
servers.
control of it.
Exactly. From my perspective, all of you are dumb. Okay, all right. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said it, but
No,
all right.
bro, you just lost all your audience.
I'm sorry, but it's the One Nation people, the Labour people. I have my own opinions, so it's different to everyone. So the projected 2CP is now 53.47 to One Nation. I'm gonna see if we have any more boos in. There's only like 2 that aren't in basically at this point.
Yeah, and the count is going to slow down a fair bit. So there's one election day booth to come in, and then we're just waiting on the pre-poll centre, which honestly will take quite a while.
Okay, Leona or Fiona gives $10. Says IMO Tree was a bad candidate. She's a candidate 61 kilometers from the district. She's been a party apparatchik from her uni days and is Woodside's lobbyist. RC. The seat has lost a lot of housing expansion too. Okay, I see. Well, I mean, it sounds like she's it was sort of like a popular surge against her at that stage. She's just seen as part of the establishment with Woodside. Where does she live? What area does she live in? 61 kilometers away. Do you know?
Somewhere in the inner north, I think. Yeah.
Why the hell did they put her as a candidate then?
Because they thought they would retain the seat and they could choose whoever they wanted.
There's a lot of parachuting. There's a lot of popular.
So this is a Christina Keneally situation. Like that.
I don't think it's that bad, but yeah, they weren't ready to go with someone local. Like had Labor done the same thing in Werribee and not picked like a local teacher, the same thing could have happened, to be honest.
Exactly.
Yeah. Labour even lost in the city booth, the one that we thought was the one that was mobile booths earlier.
60 votes, that one, yeah.
Yeah. One Nation up 17 here, Labour down 24. Yep. I thought Labour would hold until I learned Labour was running a carpetbagger. Yeah. I'm very surprised. I really did not expect this one to go to One Nation. When I heard about this by-election, I thought, this is going to be boring. It's going to be One Nation win. Sorry, it's going to be a Labour win, but One Nation might go all right, and then the trend will continue. But yeah, this is, I think this is more sort of notable than a lot of people probably give it credit for, because how would you say this is different to some like obviously yeah well, this is an outer suburban seat, right? But how would you say this is different to some of the other contests where One Nation have been victorious? They're more sort of regional or something, right?
Well, because Labor's the primary opponent in this case.
Yeah.
They've won this seat off Labor.
Yes. Yeah. Like most of the other contests have been Liberals.
Joseph Oxley M2N. What does the One Nation rise mean for Teals in inner metropolitan areas? Well, as I was saying earlier, I think that a lot of these Teals seats, they kind of they're not the voters in them are kind of different to the rest of the voters in Australia. They kind of think more like what you would expect, sort of like a pearl clutcher would vote for, right? The kind of ways they would vote, right? They really are not happy with the kind of rhetoric from Pauline Hanson, I would say.
I would say they're insulated from the kind of economic and cultural shocks that are driving people to One Nation.
Exactly. Jessica gives another 38 Hong Kong dollars. Thank you.
Castro, bro.
I don't like One Nation voters, but I won't say they're dumb because we have different priorities. We are different. That's it. Well, I think Labor shills kind of expect people to just vote Labor and then wait, basically. Like, wait 20, 30 years and Labor will fix everything, right? And a lot of people don't want that. A lot of people want, the economic situations.
It used to be the opposite. It used to be vote Labor, get it instantly, then get knocked out of government straight away, like Whitlam.
Well, I mean, that's obviously not how Labor does it anymore because I mean,
it's the opposite. It's the complete opposite.
The Labor shills would argue that if they do things too quickly, they'll get cooed or something, right? That's what Friendly Geordie said, right? So
that's what a lot of the Labor shills say.
So people want stuff to happen now. They want changes now, right? I mean, there's immigration, but there's other things.
But what will the other parties change? Like, that's the thing. Like, will they just
it's very clear that whatever One Nation want to do, it's very radical and it's going to completely transform the.
Yeah, but that's also concerning.
I mean, okay, they probably won't do that because at the end of the day, Pauline Hanson is teaming up with big business and they don't want too much instability, right? But they give off the vibes they're going to make radical changes to the country. And really change things up. And also, I think a lot of these voters, because this is not actually an actual election, right? They want to send a message to the Labor Party that they can't keep on doing things the way they're doing it at the moment. They have to change things. And I don't know if the Labor Party is going to really do that when Labor shills say, "Oh, the way things are going at the moment is perfectly fine," So, what were we going to say, Max?
Labor has a real risk of falling into a what is it called, latency trap that the Liberals did in their last term of government. So really watch on that.
I think maybe part of what's coming into this, there was the local issue of Carnup's train station.
Okay.
So the Western Australian government has been building up all these like metro networks.
Yeah, that's valid.
And for however long they've promised that this suburb, which is a real dormitory suburb, so you've got a lot of.
Which suburb are you talking about?
Oh, just all of them really, but probably like the Mandurah part more, like Secret Harbour down to Singleton.
Okay. Yep.
A lot of commuters, and a lot of them are also like FIFO commuters, so they drive up to the airport early in the morning, whatever. A train station would probably be a game changer there, and I guess they felt that they couldn't trust Labor to deliver it after so many years of promising it but not actually beginning to build it. And now they belatedly promised it during the by-election.
Mm-hmm. I see. Yeah. Well,
so that could be coming into it.
Yeah. Well, NIMBYism. Is One Nation Party really an anti-NIMBY party? I guess that's another poll for us. All right, let's see.
It's just another Liberal party, in my opinion, with protectionist characteristics like the Nationals.
Another Liberal party.
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels more like an old Labor party, with elements of
one
business
nation.
Liberal, like old Labor.
No, old Labor. Like what decade are you talking about?
Like
1920s.
I don't even know, but like
because like most of it's been non-doctrinal Labourism, and One Nation isn't Labourist in that sense. And like the old Labor Party is more Whitlamist. It was less economically disciplined. Liberal discipline. So like they didn't really adhere to financial economics and modelling and all that sort of stuff. So potentially in that aspect, maybe. But even then, like.
Drifts fit.
But at the same time, the Whitlam government and like the party just before that was quite cozy with the big business and especially the Murdoch media and the big newspapers. That's kind of what got them into government.
Drift.
As soon as they got in, they got turned on. So
Drift Physic, you're saying the seat is a regional seat. It's not a regional seat. This is definitely it's an outer metropolitan.
Outer metropolitan.
You're saying it takes a semi-metropolitan seat. The seat is squarely metropolitan. It's not a regional seat. You could call it outer metropolitan, but it's definitely not.
The only reason where like you could even consider this a regional seat is because Perth's metropolitan area is so damn long.
It is. It just strings along and along and along.
Exactly. This is metropolitan Perth.
Yeah. I mean, like
big city.
You could even like say Mandurah is part of Perth if you really wanted to. So,
exactly.
Because people are going to freak out over you calling it Mandurah, but yeah.
Is it Mandura? I'm sorry.
I think you like have to completely get rid of a syllable. It's like Mandra.
Mandra.
Yeah, Mandra.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. I would say everything from Alchemos, or even up to Yan Chep, or even up to Two Rocks is part of Perth, and then everything down to probably this Dawesville place is also
I
part
love
of Perth.
there's a place called Safety Bay.
There's a place called Safety Bay too, is there?
Yeah, it's up north, just past Secret Harbour.
I love WA. I've never been
Up
to
north.
I've never been to WA, so it could just not exist as far as I know, So it could just be like it could just be I could be living in the Truman Show where
Clarkson! I got Clarkson, let's go.
wait, what's this? Clarkson?
Yeah, just south, you missed it.
Oh, okay, I see. All right. Yan Shep to Mandura says Lick Jess. Right. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
that feels fine to me.
well, I guess you could say that this part separates as not Perth anymore. I guess. Okay, that's fair enough. Yeah. Okay. And then Yan Shep. Yeah. Okay.
Frank says Whitlam was a Fagan and Marxist. I don't agree, but okay.
I think you'd have to include Two Rocks as well if you're going to include Yan Shep. Anyway, that's just being that's just arguing about stuff which is vague anyway. I'll see if there's any updates on the boobs.
I've been checking, haven't seen anything yet.
No.
But with a quarter of the vote in, One Nation well ahead on primaries, and a narrow lead on two candidate preferred. My thought was that One Nation would outperform on the pre-poll compared to the day votes. I'm surprised to see One Nation jump out to a lead like this. Where do you think this ends up, guys? Any ideas on primary vote?
I wasn't really surprised in it being a marginal, either Labour or One Nation contest.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
No.
But I thought Labour might have a narrow lead, and then the pre-poll
Yeah, I did as well.
would come in for One Nation.
Yeah. But what was your question? Like where this leads nationally, or?
No, where do you think this lands in terms of numbers for tonight?
Oh, just the final result estimate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the 53, 52 range could be high 53s.
Yeah,
I think it's definitely a marginal.
Well, is there anything that could really change the result? Like, are there any boobs that could give a different result?
So, early polling early polling. That
absent votes, provisional votes, would they really swing the result? Like, anyway, like.
Has the commission got an absent vote booth?
Or is it?
Oh, they do. I mean, I didn't realize absent votes are not very common in by-elections, right? Because that's usually if you're out of your area on the day
exactly.
and you vote somewhere else in the whole state. But why would there be absent votes?
Yeah, like where would their polling place be in like Esperance and like the middle of nowhere, like
yeah,
you know?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. It's really just all down to the pre-poll. Yeah, and there'll be more postals too. But,
So NIMBY is not in my backyard. They're the kind of people that care more about sort of community opinion about projects rather than like maybe what's good for the state or good for the country or something. And Jessica sends another Hong Kong $38, says, I really don't like Albo because he's trapped in a working class fantasy, but Albo, they no longer vote for you. We vote for you. Do something for us. I'm actually a little bit confused about what your sort of political stance is, Jessica. If you're, I mean, you don't have to only be a dichotomy between Labour and One Nation, but I mean, I agree with you. I think he is.
You could be a consumer that shops around for whatever gives you the best deal, rather than strictly locking yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like that. So yeah,
that's me.
Yeah. But I think Albo, like,
yeah.
He is trying to be. He does try to be like a smart politician. He tries to be a cautious politician, and I think a lot of his moves are, maybe more. What's the word? Rehearsed than maybe expected. Like, for example, him on that podcast, right, where he was being quote unquote misogynistic. I think he was prepared to be like that from that podcast. I don't think it was an accident the way he acted.
Yeah.
But whether or not what he tries to do is actually works is a different story, you know. So, I mean, I will agree with the Labour shills that this kind of result is not reflective of what we would necessarily get at a general election, like a general WA election.
Exactly.
I will agree with Labour shills about that. But I will say that this is people sending a warning to the Labour Party that if they don't sort of change their act, that people will vote this way, you know. So
exactly.
Yeah.
This is the thing. Like, there's no safe seats. Very, very, very well known saying nowadays. It's just grown and grown each year. And yeah, I think governments need to like realize that even their safe seats are not really that safe, and that they've got to do a bit more, and just really not sit back and put the feet up. You know.
NIMBYs are best defined, in my opinion, but I believe that the resale value of their house is more important than literally anything else. Well, yes, but also, you know, they care about the quote unquote, you know, the character of their community. But I mean, it does cause a lot of problems, and it's one way is that China is really defeating the West. And China just goes full speed ahead on any project, and they don't give a crap about what the community has to say. So, and
people don't want to. Yeah, people don't want to buy into an area and watch the ground shift beneath their feet.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I do think that anti-NIMBYism will become greater of an issue as the decade moves forward. I think generally they're becoming an enemy to both the left and the right, especially the sort of the centrists, right? Because like, I don't know if you guys have read that that abundance book, right? But isn't that really sort of anti-NIMBY? Like, it's very YIMBY, that kind of that book.
I've not read it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like I mean, I think they're sort of like, you know, build, like just keep on building, and you know, so like it's something that sort of both the center left and the center right can get behind, and it's obviously what the Labour Party has been trying to do, to sort of try to not be a NIMBY, and it has worked to an extent, but I don't think it's sort of like the necessarily the fix all or something to be anti-NIMBY, but I mean I think it's definitely on the nose, that kind of like ideology, that NIMBY ideology is on the nose. What were you gonna say, Max?
Oh, I don't know. Like, but part of densification is that, like the new angle that NIMBYs are taking is, well, what about the infrastructure?
Yeah.
So they're talking about where are the hospitals, where are the schools, where's the traffic management, where's all this, and like here in Victoria, State Labor's solution is just, we'll approve apartment towers near train stations, and she'll be right. Well, so I think NIMBYs definitely have a point in terms of this whole like top-down approach to it that doesn't, like, there's not a lot of nuance, and there's not much detail in terms of how they're going to get this done. Like, it's very broad, it's vague, and it's just like local councils working out.
Well, I think the approach is with I guess the issue I agree with you, Max, that they have a point there, but I also think the issue with NIMBYs is when we all agree as a country that there should be development because it'd be economically beneficial as a country to develop, right? Maybe like the immigration intake might be a bit too high, and we could cut that, and we would need, you know, less development overall. But if we were to develop somewhere, there are places that would be much better to develop than other places, right? Like in terms of building apartments near train stations, right? That's obviously preferable to building apartments, you know, out, or building extra houses in a lot of greenfield spaces where there's no public transport and people have to rely on cars and stuff like that. So there's times where if the development is going to be beneficial overall, then you'd want to develop in places where there actually is the, you know, you're right, not just trains, but also, you know, the other facilities that can actually handle them. So, but yeah.
But yeah, and I think people want to live an outer suburban lifestyle in the inner suburbs. That's one of the big problems with NIMBYism.
Exactly. Yeah. So I don't think necessarily the overall amount of development that these governments want to do in Australia is necessary. I think obviously the immigration amount can be reduced, but the problem is, these NIMBYs, they kind of want, like their suburb might be able to handle a lot more people compared to some greenfield space out in the middle of nowhere, but they choose, like, because they're special and maybe they have money and influence, that they decide, no, I don't want somebody building there. I have to say, your take on the makeup of Secret Harbour is extremely incorrect. Comparing to an outer suburb anywhere else in WA is practically irrelevant. It votes like Mandurah. Well, I still think Mandurah is an outer suburb. I don't think that's the regions. It's still part of Perth, in my opinion. So that's an outer suburb.
It's definitely part of. It's suburban.
Yeah.
It's not regional. It's not provincial. It's suburban.
The Liberals can still win Secret Harbour, says Jessica.
Jeez, man.
Says the worst person you know. Jessica.
You made like $100 tonight, man. Good job.
Says another Hong Kong, $15. New South Wales Lib is trying to outflank Lab by outspending. I actually haven't been paying attention to what New South Wales Lib are doing, but I don't think they're going to get anywhere.
They're getting investigated with corruption. That's what they're doing.
That's true. Yeah, that's all I've heard. Yeah. So.
Yeah, exactly. They're just chilling.
Look at the actions of Antifa and the court case in the US, plus the media reaction on the left. They tried to murder police officers. Yeah, I mean,
No comment. No.
I mean, American politics. It's they just need My take on American politics is they need OPV. That's what I take on American politics. I'm not going to say anything else. They need optional preferential voting, and until then, I won't take them seriously because it's a complete mess. And those primaries, I think you advocate for them, Max, but I think those primaries are not helping. I don't think that
those primaries they end up electing more extreme members of their party to represent them.
Well, not only that, but I think they can't effectively build a brand when it comes to a general election because they have all of these different I think it's much better if you go to a general election and then you have like a whole lot of different choices of different parties which all have an established brand, right? And they aren't just a mishmash of all these different people who've been elected at primaries, right? You can't really build. It's just a mess. I don't think it works. I don't think it. Look, I'm not against primaries, but I don't think it's a alternative to something like OPV. So.
Yeah. The only primary we really have in like Australia is the primary for Albanese, the Labor leader, but that's like rarely happens since only the Labor members.
Well, we will sort your this sort of question to the test. Are U.S. primaries a substitute? I have to spell substitute, right? Or referendum. I mean, we know how this is going to answer, but I'll ask it anyway.
I mean, they're not. They're definitely not a substitute. But it is...
No way.
I don't love Australian pre-selections.
Well,
it depends on the party, that's the thing. Because it's not run by the commissions, it's run by the party.
The argument is if you don't like the pre-selections, then vote against the party if their pre-selections are in a model that you don't agree with. I guess that would be the argument. So
like with One Nation, there's no real choice. It's the leader gets to choose in most states still. That is changing allegedly. But in terms of the US primaries, is that run by each state's electoral commission, or is it run by the parties?
I don't.
It'll be run by the
parties.
I think the commission.
It would not be
is
run
by
the
the government of the time, rather than being an independent authority, which is why you gerrymandering and all that sort of stuff.
I'm almost certain that it's not run by the parties because why would they have them on the same day?
Exactly.
Like all that.
Yeah, so it's commissions, but then those commissions are controlled by the government.
Inky, I agree with you. I just think that the Greens should be maybe economically left but socially moderate, but they've already sort of picked a position and they're going to stick to it and they're not going to change their position. So I think the best solution is just to make another party. I don't think you're going to get the Green. And I think the Greens, they have a place. There's a lot of people who agree a lot with the Greens policies, enough that they get a consistent 12.5% around that one eighth of people. So I don't think there's a point of the Greens changing. I think it's just other people need to come into the fold and offer another alternative to the Greens and the Labor Party for that matter.
Yeah. Commenter Authentic Aussie Woman says Whitlam was the first Fabian PM. Yeah, kind of. But the thing is that the government was not Fabian. It was very not. Well, yeah, it was kind of radical
But,
in terms of
like-
change. And most Fabians are very gradualist, and
Whit-
that government was not gradualist at all.
Whitlam is night and day from Keir Starmer, right? What did Keir Starmer do in his 2 years in office? You know,
Not
so
much.
they're both Fabians. So I think it's like it's
Yeah,
sort of
but like it's different being gradualist, which is what most people think Fabians are.
I think it's a little bit of a right wing, like, no, I'm not going to say conspiracy theory, but it's a little bit of a right wing, you know, stitch up. I don't think Fabian society really means anything. You know, they're all like, I mean, or they
It's one form of the social democratic and socialist, you know, fringes nowadays. It's just one little group.
I don't know. I mean, maybe they've changed opinion over time. Maybe they all think the secret way to socialism is through this like 30 years of moderate liberal democracy morphing into moderate social democracy. Maybe they think that I don't, and that's a secret way to socialism after 100 years or something like that. Maybe that's their opinion. But I mean, it seems that it seems that Whitlam has almost nothing in common with someone like Keir Starmer, in my opinion. So I think this whole Fabian thing is
he actually came from
rubbish.
Labour right. He was brought up in quite a wealthy family, and he was from Labour right faction as well. But presided over a government that was somewhat left, and it was very pragmatic.
You say wolf in sheep's clothing, but this has to be the most beta wolf on earth, right? Where they take 30 years to do anything that like even resembles social democracy, right? Like that's not a wolf. That's what is that? Like a little pug or something like that. It's a pug in sheep's clothing. It's nothing. All right. So Keir Starmer, if he stayed as prime minister, like it would have nothing would have happened in 20 years. You know, the UK would have stayed almost exactly the same, if not gotten worse. So
yeah. There's an interesting comment from
Sorry, I just want to say they wish there were wolves in sheep's clothing. They're not. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. They said that potentially next election, if One Nation expands votes, Labor maintains majority in the lower house, that there could be another 1975 moment. Do you think that's the case?
What, they get cooed? Is that it?
Do you think we would have another political constitutional crisis?
No, because Albo is too cautious and slow to do anything that would happen, you know? So
yeah, because the reason they withheld supply is just because of how radical Whitlam's changes were, and also corruption scandals we haven't really seen the likes of which for a long time. Even under Morrison, it wasn't as bad, I would say.
Well, they don't. There's not sort of like the. I mean, they sort of got away with it, right? Like John Kerr and they all got away with it, right? Doing that coup.
Yeah, I don't think like in 2026, like people just get away with it in general. Both governments. Governor General, anyone really like it.
I don't think anyone would get away with it cooing Albo because he's just so weak.
No, not cooing, but like what I mean is like the scandals and that sort of stuff, and just
okay, yeah,
issues in that way. Yeah,
it's been a slow infiltration. Look, I just like I'm not on board with the Albo, but I to say that I mean I would say the way that they're ramping up authoritarianism is definitely very extreme. I would say that, or quite extreme. Yeah, I agree with all that, right? I would say if there's a wolf in sheep's clothing, it's their authoritarianism. But in terms of social democracy or socialism, no, I don't think that they're acting like a wolf on that. But in terms of authoritarianism, yeah, there's some dodgy stuff. But as far as I know, the Fabian Society is not about, you know, I don't know, spying on everyone. It's about like, I don't know, being socialist. So, I mean, unless they think spying on the people is the way to socialism, I don't think that doesn't really seem like that's the case. But anyway, I will be back. So I'm going for a bathroom break.
All right.
So I'll be back in a second.
Fair.
Yeah. I don't really have much to add. I think like the night's kind of been set in terms of the result and stuff.
Yeah, it's annoying how
it's kind of a surprise, but not really. You know, like it just happens.
I'm not that surprised.
Yeah.
I'm not that surprised.
Yeah, I knew it would be marginal. I was thinking that it might have been slightly a Labour win, but you know.
Yeah, one thing I am surprised with is the Labour primary vote. Have a look at it.
Yeah.
24.6.
Swing, yeah.
That's pitiful. Their vote's basically halved from last time.
Yeah.
And the Greens vote's gone nowhere, by the way.
Yeah.
None of this went.
Society's just changed as well.
None of this went left.
Yeah.
It's spread around as preferences, but none of it actually went left.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, people, parties and governments just have to realize that we're in a different era of politics now. Just a different era where votes matter a lot more. Even though like we've still got that unequal system where like certain votes count certain like more in certain areas, but like you also can't ignore the areas where votes are the cheapest.
Well, I was going to say, like, so you think back to 2022 and
Yeah.
the Liberals lost their safe in a metro heartland and learned
That's
the
right.
hard way,
That's right.
okay, that's over. So then sort of earlier in this term, it was, oh, by the way, your regional and rural seats aren't safe either. And now Labor's getting the same lesson,
But yeah.
but in their outer suburban areas. I still think they have safe seats in the inner metro areas.
Yeah. And like a lot of the is it 84 seats or 94 seats across the country in a metro/metro? Like it's a good amount. Like I think, does that include suburban as well? Just like quite like super metro like.
I don't know, I'd have to look.
Yeah, but like it's like a good amount to cities, like just full on cities.
Yeah, but like this seat would be considered outer suburban metropolitan.
Yeah, so it might not fall into that. At least federal.
Well, the seat of Brand, which has.
Does that encompass more of the city? Or more rural?
No, it's all metropolitan, and it's areas like this seat. Not exactly like it, but a lot of it like it.
Yeah.
Goes north into Rockingham, and
I get you.
You know, they're going to sort of vote a similar way. It's not always going to be by-election circumstances, but yeah, Labor's not going to be sitting on outer suburban seats with 10 to 20% margins if this is the sort of electoral environment that we're looking at.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's not really a three-way contest if you look at it.
No, it's a two-horse race.
It's a two-way. So like. If we see more seats where it's much more evenly split, like 33%, 33, or like even in the 20s, I mean, maybe Labor wins out in those scenarios. We'd have to see. I mean, it really depends on like who's getting the really low tens and who's leading the electric greens. But in terms of like races like this, this is terrible for Labor.
So, do we want more MPs in the House of Reps? What do we think?
We just throw this question.
All right, why not? Let's do it.
Yes, but yeah, balancing is going to be fun.
Yeah, I think there should be like we're a bit sort of there's a bit many population per electorate at this point.
Yeah, it should be expected.
Leonov Yona says the electorate has changed a lot. There's a lot of millennials and FHO in the electorate. This is an area of tradies, FIFO, and aspiring Aussies, right? Well, I know that there's a lot of mortgage belt. So I think they're those kind of people, mortgage belt people, are going to get even more pissed at the Labor government in the next year or two as house prices reduce, and I think Labor's going to have to start giving handouts to people with mortgages at some point, or it's going to get really nasty. So. Jessica says, no way, he's socialist, incompetent, centrist indeed. Yeah, well, I agree with you. So thank you, Jessica, again for more Hong Kong currency.
Dollars.
Yeah, Hong Kong dollars. I've actually never been to Hong Kong. I don't even know if I've transited.
You can with all that money, buddy. You can now.
I guess I can, yeah. I think I've been to Korea. I think I've been to, transited through Korea,
Korea.
And I've been to Taiwan and I've been to China. I don't think I've ever been to Hong Kong.
Yeah.
I don't think I've even transited through Hong Kong. So,
fine.
Are you actually like watching from Hong Kong, Jessica, or you just like use Hong Kong currency for some reason? I'm curious.
Yeah, just in Australia, just using Hong Kong because it's like cool.
They could be using a VPN for all we know. I don't know.
Exactly. Exactly. We don't know.
The Senate.
That'd be weird because then they've been automatic. Yeah, that's so weird.
Yeah, I think the Senate.
Yeah, that's the Nexus. That's how it's always been.
The Senate. I think it's better when the Senate has a odd number of seats elected at each half Senate election.
I agree. Yes.
So it'd probably be better if it was 7 elected each half Senate election. For 14 in total per state. It gives a more definitive result. So in that way, if we're going to increase the Senate, we should increase the House, and I don't think it's a problem if we increase the House because we have a already like growing population, and the House hasn't been increased in 40 years. So
Yeah.
Labour will probably do it next term. They won't do it this term, obviously, but maybe next term.
Yeah, well, it's the wrong time and it's the wrong
Yeah.
priorities. Politically, and technically wise, it is a good idea, but it's just the wrong.
They have to do it in a time of
Eventually.
economic, sort of
prosperity and
at least
lives.
economic
But,
stability.
You know who's often in government during those times, the good times? The Liberals.
Um,
So
Colin Willis
the Liberals-
F7W says
Usually.
watching from Philippines, left Australia is no longer the country I grew up in. I don't know what you mean by that, but yeah.
Interesting.
Aldi. He is a SL member of the ALP. He is a Marxist. You cannot be a member of the SL of the ALP and not be a Marxist. The delusional mind fart is what the fuck is wrong with young people. Well, if he is really a Marxist, why is he taking so long to get to Marxism? Right? Aren't Marxists meant to be like revolutionary? Like, what he's? I mean, we're
talking about Albo.
talking about Albo. Yeah.
Yeah, well, like, this is the thing. He actually moved away from that. That's the thing. Pivoting back's not very common. Once you leave it. Not
Well,
very
I mean,
common.
I don't necessarily. I think that Albo could be a secret socialist, but I mean, if he is, like, he
He could be a democratic socialist for sure, but his government
Okay,
surely isn't like.
but
He's
but-
not like Ben Chifley. Ben
but-
Chifley is much more left than what Albo is right now.
well,
Like, we haven't even talked about
he-
nationalisation.
if he thinks that we need to take like 40 or 50 years to get to socialism, then I think that's a bit ridiculous, and I think that I don't know why he expects that his government will last that long. Is he really going to be prime minister for 40 or 50 years?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
look, I mean, as much as I think that maybe people in the mortgage belt who are upset about their house prices going down are people who voted One Nation at this. Well, there's one aspect, right? That's one of many aspects, right?
I would say they're more worried about their interest repayments going up than their house
Yeah.
prices going down.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Well, but I mean, if they want to sell, right, they'd be
Yeah.
they would be pretty upset. Yeah, I mean, you're right. Yeah, you are right about that, Max.
Yeah.
But
Liberals are
what
trying to twist that the other way, where it's like there's going to be a negative equity crisis, but
But-
not many people are going to sell their homes. That's the thing.
what I was going to say is that I don't think it was necessarily the changes in the budget that triggered this kind of result. So
Mm.
I think maybe the situation might have been even worse if it wasn't for the changes in the budget. Where do you guys will see the new seats? Well, I mean that's a mathematical
not
question.
in Tasmania.
Yeah, not in
Not in
Tasmania.
Tasmania.
Yeah, it's a
You know
mathematical
that.
question.
Not in the ACT. Not in the ACT or Northern Territory either.
Hopefully, we would see some better like communities of interest grouped together. If you could squeeze more seats in.
It will make it kind of easier for these smaller groups and parties to get in ways, because then it's more ground for these parties that have to cover an area, like. But then again, like, the brand is pretty well built up in basically everywhere in Australia.
If that was the case, shouldn't smaller parties have better like getting in state elections?
That's the thing, though. That, like, you know what I mean? Like, I already countered that by saying they already have a strong brand nationally all over, regardless of new roundies and electorates. But, like, it is another area that has to be contested in a way. Like, it's a separate boundary. Like, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
So I can imagine that there are Labour voters who actually think that Albo is going to impose socialism, not just right wingers who think that.
Don't know
Yeah.
about that.
Well, they're praying and hoping.
But this is the but this is the thing, though. Like, Australians have historically been quite greedy and very wealth and individual centric compared to even like the United States and a lot of other countries. I mean, you look at Australia, name one instance where we've nationalised an industry compared to, say, in the US or even in the UK and other places. We are very, very sensitive when people try and touch our wealth and touch our stuff. And I would say Western Australia the most out of any other state, but like broadly, it is a trend.
So
It is a thing that a lot of Australians experience.
so
There's a lot
yeah,
of don't tread on me.
I think the Labour cope that I've heard lately is that to reduce inflation, Labour is going to tax gas next year. So that's why I'm asking that as a poll. So if Albo was Biden, who the hell was our Obama? I mean, Kevin
I think taxing.
Kevin Rudd
Sorry,
/ Julie Gillard, a hybrid of the two. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, not really. But
Not really. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but like if you had to, there's no comparison because like this is the thing because like even would you say Obama's third way more than like
yeah.
Bill Clinton?
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
so
they're
like
both
we don't. The
same
thing is,
thing.
yeah, because the thing is like we don't have a third way in Australia. We don't. The Labor movement abandoned that after just before Rudd got in. Beasley and what's his name, Mark Latham. They ditched the third way.
I see. I mean,
Mark Latham was the biggest third way character in Labor. They did try it in the 90s, it just never worked. It never fit their party.
I would say
Juliet Gillard reaffirmed the party as a social democratic, or a Labour party, not even social.
But wasn't Bob Hawke and Paul Keating literally third way? Like, isn't that literally what they were?
No, that's more social. That's more social democratic.
What? They're not social democrats. What are you on? They've privatized things. How are they social democrats?
No. Listen here.
All right, hang on.
No,
We're gonna ask the audience here.
No, corporate is social democracy.
Corporate what? Okay, hang on. Okay.
Look, it's a combination of market interests with left socialist and a little bit of.
Or
I
third
wouldn't
way.
say that they were third way at all.
They absolutely were.
No, they were not. You could say they're proto third way, but they're not traditional third way, as in the American.
They were
definition.
third way before third way.
No, they weren't. They were social democratic economic liberalists.
Like they were basically the model that Tony.
Democratic corporatists.
They were the model that Tony Blair copied. They were the model that Tony Blair copied.
They were.
Like Bill Clinton is uncomparable because America is just a right-wing corporatocracy. It's uncomparable to the Commonwealth Anglosphere. Completely.
They were the movement that existed before third way.
Hybrid. I wouldn't call. Look, I'm not necessarily against.
I would call them hybrid.
I wouldn't
call them third way.
I wouldn't necessarily be against Hawke and Keating's reforms, but I would not call them social democratic, because I mean, especially when they got to the stage of privatizing things and adding competition to. Well, I don't know if you would call banks natural monopolies, but I would have thought that you would at least need a publicly run competitor. Anyway, it seems to be pretty 50-50 on this one.
Honestly, if you think about it, social democratic economic liberals is basically third way. It's just different terms.
Well, that's what they are. That's what they are.
No, but it's before the official term, and there were different.
Yeah, they were third way before it got named, basically.
Yeah, but also there were things that they've done that the Americans didn't do, which is what.
Yeah, but Americans are like they're so right wing compared to the Commonwealth Anglosphere. Like if you compare them to UK or Australia, it's uncomparable, you know. So, okay, yeah. So the preference flows are interesting. Yeah, preference flows are interesting because it's 58% to Labor, but I think it's because a lot of these other candidates are like independents, Greens, obviously Liberals. That they would probably preference to. I mean, I'd be curious to see what the preference percentage are. At the end, but there's so little Liberal vote that the preference flows at this point. It's like it's going 58% to Labor, but One Nation's still winning, which is really interesting. I don't think we've seen this before necessarily.
Well, they're so far out on primary.
Yeah.
What's interesting though, that there is that effect where the higher their primary vote, the better their preference flows. And that is sort of playing out to some extent. Like, have a look at the Secret Harbour primary school, which has come in 56.7% for One Nation. And they've done that off like one of their highest primary votes. And that's a higher Liberal vote, that booth as well. I guess we've laboured down on like under 25%. I'm not surprised. I guess that they're catching up a bit on preferences.
Sorry to interrupt. Sorry, go. I'm sorry. I don't like these people in the chat. Like, neoliberalism is third way, right? Like that's the same. Like, I don't know how you can't say you're social democratic and neoliberal. That doesn't make any sense. That's the antithesis of each other.
You can merge ideas from both. That's the thing. You don't have to incorporate everything on each side because that obviously wouldn't work. It's compromise.
All right. Anyway, what were you saying, Max? I apologize.
I was just saying the count went up by another like 5%. I
Okay.
think it's more postals,
Okay.
and I'm not seeing any real change in the trend.
Okay.
Oh, I think the confusion. Yeah. So more of the Hawke Keating era was more through corporations and larger institutions, while say the Liberal Party and the American Democrat third way was through more individual means.
The Liberal
which is
Party
probably-
third way. Since when has the Liberal Party ever been third way?
No. Sorry. What I meant is more the American Democrat side. Just forget all that. Like just through more individual means. Which is probably the difference.
Anyway, I'm ending.
It's the same goal. It's just through different means.
I'm ending the poll with my victory at 53%. So
Yeah. Which is sad.
all right. So
It's very close. It's very close. So
we're now 3 hours in. I think we'll go for another 28 minutes, and then we'll finish up.
Yeah.
So yeah, when we have a result, I think the real question is like, I'll ask a poll about this. Is this purely a protest vote election, or is this reflect what voters might vote in an actual election? So, probably the answer should be obvious, but is
Yes, but not to the same extent.
right? Yeah.
I wouldn't expect it to the same extent in a WA general election, but overlapping federal booths or maybe a different jurisdiction, I could probably see it. I don't think this is a massive whack to Cook's government.
No, it's only one.
Yeah, but also I don't know to what extent it's actually about that government.
Exactly.
I'm gonna have to go back through my video comments and see who got the prediction closest. Quite a few commenters did make predictions.
Yeah, well, that's what the Labor cope is going to be from now on. That it's just a protest vote. That there's no reflection on how it's going to be in general elections. By-elections are always like this, where you're going to get like a strange result. Yada 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 yada. So that's what
funny. You go. Sorry.
That's what the cope is going to be. Whether or not that's true or not, we'll see in Victoria, obviously. Do we have anything until then? Probably not, right?
No.
Not unless you count the Mulga by-election in Northern Territory.
Yeah. Well,
is that worth going to with like?
Well,
Stream that one.
It's a smaller audience than Tasmania.
At this point, I might as well do a stream for that too, because we've been doing a stream for every by-election.
Nah, look, that one's definitely not worth a stream. It'll be like...
you said that before, and we've done a stream, so, you know...
Alright, so it's a remote seat, I'm pretty sure.
You're right, actually.
I think it'll have, like, no polling places, maybe one.
Will it have a One Nation
polls.
candidate?
No, it'll be... I think it's going to be Labor versus Independent. And sounds
come
like the vibe is
on!
that
Why doesn't
Labor's
One
gonna win.
Nation run? I don't get it. Come on. Why are they so... Yeah.
Not exactly their crowd.
Yeah.
Okay, so Leona, if Fiona
Anyway,
says...
I want to answer the poll. It's actually funny because, like, if you think about it, literally every vote against the government is a protest vote. So, like, how is this any different? Like, every vote is a protest vote that's against the government. Like, it's throughout all of history. It's been. I want an alternative. I want this alternative. Like.
Leona Fiona says, as someone that lives here, it's not a protest vote. Okay. Well...
It's not. But at the same time, every vote that is not governmental is protest
Well,
vote.
what I mean by a protest vote is that people are voting this way to show the government, we're not happy, right? But they wouldn't actually vote this way in the actual election, but they just want to vote to show to point a message to say we're not happy with how
but you
things
see
are.
protest votes in elections as well, like general elections. So like.
Yeah, I know.
And
But
also, a lot of the protest movement is of the party organization and parties that act that way rather than voters. Like, sure, you have like some like actual protests and like student protests or Russell and stuff, but like that's different to voting for a party that protests.
I think what will concern Labor is how elastic their vote is, how fragile it is in a place that usually they could get a majority of the primary.
Yes.
That's the concern.
Yeah.
It's happy to walk. over a little state by-election, and it's
Yeah.
happy to walk to One Nation.
Yeah, I mean, I could buy the argument that this is just, like a little bit of a middle finger at Labour.
Yeah.
But I do think this does give One Nation a lot of energy for Victoria. And I can see a minority government with One Nation calling the shots in Victoria, which would be very, very interesting. And it would be a first for Australia, I think, right?
State
Basically.
level probably, but federally, or actually even state level. I mean, have we ever seen like a Labor protectionist, like, because that, even though they're proto parties, that technically could have been a three-way in the Victorian Parliament. I know federally we've had three-party coalition before and three-party government, that's like all that stuff. So, but like in modern Australia, 100%.
Yeah. So somebody said it's about housing. Ooh. Well, it's less becoming about house prices and more about rent prices and mortgages at this point. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I think it's more interesting. The more interesting question from before is: will this be the first government that has a multi-party cabinet? Excluding the coalition, they don't really count. If you.
Oh, you're talking about Victoria.
Yeah, Victoria.
Well, it depends. Like it depends how well One Nation does, I guess.
Yeah, 100%. But like in all of Australia's like federal history, excluding the coalition, assuming they are one party that works together, which they basically do all the time with a few conflicts in there, the only time that there's been a multi-party cabinet was under the Chris Watson Labor minority government, where all their cabinet ministers were protectionists. Labor, and they had one member who was from the Protectionist Party, who was the Attorney General, because they didn't have an experienced lawyer in their cabinet, so they had to get someone from another party. But yeah, that could be a first in Australian history, where that's not the case. We have a multi-party cabinet. Oh, but then we did have the Tasmanian Greens and Labor, and so yeah. So maybe it's not the first. So.
Okay, so I just want to ask about. Oh wait, I don't. How do I get rid of this option? How do I? I'm just going to get rid of it. I don't know. I'll just exit the poll and make another one.
As far as what this does to the Liberals is kind of an interesting question too. Do they start pulling away in seats like this?
Yeah. But the thing is, this is WA, and it's WA Liberals are a different beast. Like, quite a different beast. And yeah, like this whole strategy around this by-election was very silly. Yeah. I don't know what it really means federally. The Liberals are regaining in the polls.
The Liberals are gaining in the polls. I don't see it really much evidence of that. Maybe slightly.
Federally, yeah.
They were consistently polling like in the high teens at one point.
Yeah, now they're low 20s.
All right. They found their floor.
What I mean to regain is that the margin between One Nation and Liberals is closing.
Right.
That's what I mean by regaining.
Yeah, well,
which is happening if you see it.
We'll see tomorrow on the news poll on the Red Bridge supposedly coming.
Yeah, we'll see after this by-election what happens. But like, if you look at the data, there has been a trend moving upwards since the budget. So.
Okay, yeah, because.
But in terms of Western Australia, that doesn't count. Like, I'm talking about federally.
I see the appeal of Jared Reddick. I'm not sure if he's really the answer to, the missing party existing in Australia, as I would say. But I could see. But I could see the appeal of him. Like if especially if Pauline completely falls apart. But there's been a lot of issues that have come about for One Nation in the past couple of months. Basically ever since that what's it called, NPC. National Press Conference, but she hasn't really seemed to have flopped. She's still going. So, I mean, what could really defeat her is I mean, maybe if David Farley resigns and changes to a different party or something, maybe things might change.
The problem with Rennick is he's a really technical political guy. I don't think his messaging is designed for a 50% plus one type audience.
Yeah.
He talks very well to his own people who are seeking, policy and issues in exquisite detail, but it doesn't permeate beyond that border.
He's not really a vibes kind of guy,
Definitely not.
Yeah.
He's for political nerds. Right-wing political nerds.
Yeah, I agree with you about that.
Which is interesting.
But I mean, there's a fair bit of people that I think he does better under engaged voters than disengaged voters, and that's probably why there's a bit of bias in this poll here, where it's getting like 50-50. So, oh really? You're off to a party? Well, have fun. Yeah, this is a big win. Absolutely, did not expect it. And I agree with you that the Greens will never be relevant. I think they've hit their cap. I don't think David Shoebridge being the leader or Nick McKim is going to change much. Who will you vote for in next federal election? I mean, I could ask that because I'm curious to see how many Labour shills are in here compared to you.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see like if it's 90% One Nation. No, just kidding. Your channel's like flipped, hasn't it? Didn't it used to be like a bit more centre back in the day?
Well, I think the dynamics of Australian politics has changed in the last couple of years.
Yeah, true.
I mean, back when I started, it was mostly just nerds, and the audience is sort of generalized, more of a general audience, because there's been more of an interest in politics by people in the last like 5 years or so. Yeah, especially since Trump got re-elected in 2024, I'd say.
Yeah. Change.
Who would you vote for?
Labour Life member. What's your vote? Wow. Well, congratulations for being a Labour Life member. That's not easy to get.
Does it only allow 4 options? Looks like it. So I'm just going to have to put the big 4.
Yeah, put the big 4.
Pending what happens in the pre-poll, I'd be real concerned if I was Labour that you're losing young families to One Nation. In that secret Harbour to Singleton.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
Part of the seat. That's this is not old Gen X. It's
our channel's the opposite. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So what would that be? Would that be mortgage holders or renters or both?
I think across this electorate, it's like 60% mortgage holders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
wow,
which is huge.
They would be pissed about their house prices possibly falling.
But at the same time in WA, house prices have risen 20%.
And as you, I know, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And also, as Max said, the high interest rates too. That's
true. That is true.
Yeah.
So.
And just all of
like
the other
most people
pressures.
aren't selling their homes. Like that's the thing.
Yeah, but if you're a mortgage holder, you're so much more sensitive to economic shocks.
Well, exactly, because there's repayments really hit.
Yeah.
Oh,
but just the general cost of living bites.
Oh, that is yeah.
So, I think my my one-sider fueled rant earlier might have scared a lot of Labour people away because we've got One Nation at 40%. I mean, this is like a One Nation celebration event, So I'm not surprised we have like a higher percentage of One Nation than
I love how my channel's like a polar opposite.
Well, no, it's only because A, I scared them away earlier, and B, all the Labour people, or most of the Labour people, are in their beds crying right now. They don't.
Not many of them watch your live stream.
They're not at the stream anymore. It's mostly just Labour One Nation people just being happy about defeating the Red Menace. So
yeah.
Trucks of war. I'm not saying it's a shock that this would happen. It's more that it's really concerning for Labour because it's a structural problem.
Yeah, well, it's more of a problem just for the Liberals. It's also for Labour now, and this has been something that's been increasingly more, not obvious, but visible the last few months.
Well, just look at the primary swings. Labour minus 21.5, Liberal minus 6.8.
Yeah,
there's a floor under their vote, and obviously it's not
the Liberals
great.
have the minimum. Yeah.
But One Nation's gains have come largely at the expense of Labour.
There's
absolutely no doubt.
Well, 100%. I mean, look at the difference.
So this is, it's similar to what we saw in SA with like Light and
Elizabeth, Taylor.
That's right. Those ones up there. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Outer suburban, white, working class. I think the difference would be that is more renters and this is more mortgage holders.
That's right.
That's would be the main difference between this and
You're
that
getting
demographic.
hashtag Menzies 2.0 party. Forgotten people times 2.
Yeah, we got so low Labor people here that almost the coalition people are outnumbering them. Apparently,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
this poll's
Like,
accurate.
you polar opposite to me.
This is really sad for the Labor Party in terms of what the usual viewership is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think they're all very depressed at the moment. I mean,
Yeah.
they must know that there is sort of like there is a bit of a storm brewing. You know. I know you only can get so much from a stream poll, but you know, I think at least if they're smart, they should know there's a bit of a stream brewing at the moment. Whoa, what are you laughing at?
I don't know. I'm just imagining, like, the Demos AU results coming out exactly with that stream poll.
Oh right,
just
yeah,
lifting
yeah,
the
yeah.
exact same results.
Yeah.
No, guys, the stream poll said.
Yeah, well, according to some people, the stream poll is more accurate than Demos AU. So, I mean, with how people treated that Demos AU poll at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it sort of demonstrates how, like, there's so many intricacies in terms of what the headline primary vote is and how that might affect different demographic groups and different regional groups.
Agreed.
I think, like, Labor could be losing quite a lot in the outer suburban areas to One Nation, but not losing much at all to anyone really in inner metro, or even making gains off the Greens, for example.
Well, that's a part of like the electoral like polarization, right? So yeah.
But like when you look at a headline poll result and you try to figure out which seat's going to swing by how much, I think like you have to have like pretty aggressive moves depending on whether like what kind of seat it is.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, like the whole the thing that people used to do where they did what is it like flat swings? What are it like?
Oh, uniform swings.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
That's becoming more and more of an issue because of this polarization between inner suburban, outer suburban, white versus like second generation immigrants, mortgage holders versus owning a home, like
100%,
yeah. Gen X versus Gen Z. Does anyone know what One Nation is offering in the seat? Did they have a look? I mean, it doesn't matter. It's all about vibes and it's all about sending a message. It's not about what they're offering. What are they?
Again, like a lot of party votes is from the brand, not necessarily what they're offering to individual seats and members.
So, well, how could they offer something? This would be their first member of the WA Lower House, right?
That's the thing.
Like, what could they possibly hope to achieve from that position? It's not like an election where they're trying to form government.
Exactly.
Guys, I enjoyed being here, but it's time to find the truth, not hearsay. I don't tolerate lies. Well, I've been trying to be honest this stream. I've been trying. Gen Z women are greenies. Gen X men are One Nation warriors. Such a change. Well, yeah, there is that polarization.
It depends. Yeah.
There is these demographics becoming more and more important for working out who votes for what. There's more and more people on complete polar opposites of agreement on things. One Nation had Jim Guy to offer versus Karen. Yeah, that's right. So
that is 100%. Yeah.
Yep, the anti-Karen vote is real. And yeah, so if you see here Labor federally, they've just been going down. One Nation, I mean, yeah, they've been in a bit of, I mean, as you said, Liberals have found their floor of just under 20% and gone back up to the low 20s. But One Nation, despite the drop in the last couple of, I don't know, month or two, are still winning random by-elections in WA. Labor's strength has always been the inner outer suburbs, not the regions. Well, yeah, that's right. And they're losing an outer suburban seat.
I think, yeah, just interestingly on the Liberal vote there, the relevance that I think that has is in the Victorian election where, it's not, an outer suburban contest is very unlikely to polarize between Labor and One Nation like this one did. So I can imagine the Liberals, who are in a much better position in Victoria, and
Yes, they
maybe this gives them some hope. I mean, I'm kind of clutching at straws on their behalf here, but maybe there's some hope that they might be able to do better in some of the three-cornered contests.
To be fair, this was a cooked Western campaign that basically platformed One Nation. So it's not really reflective.
Vibes and a message. Seriously, super
it's not really reflective to a more traditional contest. So I think you're right on that.
All right, let's test.
I don't think the clutching at straws. I don't think you're really clutching at straws. I think it's kind of valid.
Yeah, but I can imagine if someone is saying, like, it sounds like the biggest Liberal cope. I can imagine it sounds that way.
Sure, but like this is the thing though. Like, not all parties are down and out forever. You know, they eventually recover in the polls. So, or merge or something. That's what's happened in Auspol with the two major parties. They've just merged, or they've just continued on.
Yeah, Hannibal. It does depend on the seat. 100% does depend on
that
the
as
seat.
well. Like this is the thing. Like this is Western Australia. It's vastly different from the East in many ways, but also quite similar in a few.
But like a seat like Melton, for example, could do this in a by-election if the Liberals were down and out. But with the Liberals in the game, I don't think it would happen this way.
Yeah, and this is kind of a down and out Liberal situation. So
the seat will be like Lara and Victoria. Yeah, it kind of is like it, pretty much.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like Narre Warren North.
Yeah.
It's definitely wider.
Yeah. So somebody's called me out for my my view that this is about vibes sending a message and maybe sort of general federal issues, but they think maybe the local member is going to do something. I'm just curious about what everyone else thinks.
Hey, what about a defection? No.
Well, what else is it? I mean, vibes means a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's just party brand and just going with the trend.
That train station you talked about earlier, did they really think One Nation is going to build the train station? Like, I don't think that's what it's really about here.
Us Vic kids have no idea what is coming. Well, I'm pretty sure there's only one Vic kid here. It's me.
Look, I will admit, I don't really know what's coming, but I still think Labor are going to win 40 seats.
Yeah. Minority government is not off the table.
But PuppyTube, go and check out my latest video. See what you think about my prediction on Victoria.
Low work YouTube poll. Well, yeah, I mean, these are the people in my viewership. People in my viewership are very switched on to politics. Okay, so these are the real sophologists of Australia who come to my streams and stay here at past almost the 3.5 hour mark. Okay, so we know what we're talking about. Yeah. So, but I'm glad you One Nation people that you're very happy about this result, and I do think that it is important for the Labor Party to realize that they can't just sort of like, I mean there is a hope within Labor shills that they'll do something about gas tax at the next federal election.
No, even that I don't think the gas tax is on the table for them.
I don't know. And then the next election,
it would honestly help One Nation even more, and Western Australia as well, because that's where most of the gas is.
And then the next election, they're going to do massive tax cuts with I don't know what money. That they're going to find money somehow
they'll find money by cutting other projects.
Well, I don't know. That's sort of like, and then once they cut taxes in 2028, and then Trump goes for his re-election, or not? Well, I mean, if he might go for a re-election. We'll see. But
yeah, he said that, but probably not.
But once the Trump Jr., whoever it's JD Vance goes for re-election, they'll be on the nose again, and then Labor's going to get in because people think that Pauline Hanson being prime minister will destroy the country or something. That's sort of the cope at the moment.
Well, it would mess up executive government, but we don't know if we'll destroy it.
Yeah, well, but that's sort of the cope at the moment, and I mean, I think all the Labor people will probably think like that cope is still like real, but I mean, I'll put up my final poll will be, and this will be my thesis for the next couple of years. Will be Does Australia need a
Basically,
fifth
like five
political
One Nations.
liberals?
Leono Flerner, if that's how I say it, telling you mortgages, interest rate, cost of living, petrol prices are the bigger issues, then it will be hospitals. I agree. Somehow this race got nationalised. I think that's what's happened here. It wasn't about Roger Cook. It wasn't about WA Labor. It turned into Albert versus Hanson, and in a place like this, Hanson won the day. I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, 100%. At the end of the day, Albo's basically got no presence in WA apart from securing the GST deal, and that's it. No one cares about it.
Well, apparently he was like really unpopular.
Yeah, that's right.
When people were out campaigning for this by-election.
That's right. And actually, he didn't. Did he even turn up? Like,
he was nearby. Like, he made the trip to Perth for some like.
Yeah, and some like naval shipbuilding announcement and the GST protection announcement. That was it.
But yeah, he skipped He skipped this, and apparently he was told to.
Yeah.
I want you to work on facts, not hearsay. He's giving some advice to you.
Anyway, I'd find it interesting if Labor considers a repatriation tax or some other revenue-raising scheme next year, excluding the gas tax, not a gas tax.
Repatriation is that like when people are sending money overseas, or is that?
Well, companies, maybe the first one, but a full inclusive scheme could include people as well. I don't know. I feel like they're going to introduce some sort of revenue scheme before the next election. Could be wrong though. They could just cut, but I doubt it. I really don't know.
Look, I doubt that if somebody's saying that Labor's going to win, I doubt that if Labor wins, that One Nation will be able to have a veto block in the Senate. I don't think that's. I mean, in Victoria,
there's
sure.
There's not going to be another constitutional crisis situation.
No,
like,
I don't.
We've learned the mistakes. Like, sure, post Whitlam, politician like the vibes between parties and the good terms and the good relations between them has kind of collapsed. But we haven't really seen bottom level politics.
I just don't think that Labor. I don't think they'll have the numbers to do a veto. Like, Labor Greens and the sort of the progressive crossbench are going to make a majority, no matter really how well One Nation does.
Yeah.
After next federal election, so I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know if this is true, but I don't think Western Australia leveraged its win with the GST in this by-election much, and like the other issues relating to that, in terms of the federal government, and I think they could have pivoted on that a bit more, but how much that would have helped, I don't know.
Yep, so you guys disagree with my sort of idea that we need a fifth political force. I mean, that's not surprising because there are a lot of people who are pretty gung-ho about One Nation in the chat, and probably Labor as well. But I think that both of these parties don't really sort of capture what maybe like all of Australians sort of crave, or not all of Australians, but some Australians crave, and the way forward. But it's going to take a while before that happens, I think, before people maybe realize that. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're going to finish up here. It's been a great stream. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you very much, obviously, to Max and Heath for joining me. We've had a big One Nation win. Thank you for the super chats as well for all the people. And we probably won't do a stream for that NT by-election.
I'm telling you, man. Everything will report at once. It's not, no.
Yeah. But maybe we'll do something prior to the Victorian election because there's...
We'll see what happens.
Because remember, I think...
do like a generic recap stream that isn't by-election specific, so...
Well, remember, Max, didn't we do like some kind of like, before the Fed, we did like a stream just looking at all the seats?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
We could probably do that for Victoria.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also remember there's New Zealand election to stream later or after that.
Yeah. Well, we'll probably...
It's close enough, it's relevant.
Yeah. We will do a stream for New Zealand, simply because I don't know if there's actually going to be that many other people streaming, so we might as well.
Yeah, it was just a free market,
and I'll probably take more of an interest in that the next. I mean, I've tried to.
That will probably be my main thing. So
Yeah, like I've been paying attention to it. I just haven't made a video about it. So
yeah,
either this or on another
free
channel.
market.
Yeah. So yeah, the New Zealand one looks really interesting.
It does.
SA local elections probably not. Local elections.
No. Local elections aren't
Didn't they-
like
didn't they get
They
deferred?
are like in the
Did they get
UK or
deferred?
other countries.
Like they were meant to take place, it's like late this year, and now they're going to be deferred by 6 months or something.
I don't know.
Or is that
You tell me.
okay? Don't worry.
But yeah, local elections aren't like in other countries. They're pretty boring.
But also, like in Victoria at least, the election happens. Then 2 weeks later, you get all the because they're done by post. You just get all the votes dumped in.
Yeah, so they don't count on the night.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it kind of defeats the point.
Midterms in the USA probably not because we just
No,
there's too much
not relevant.
too much competition out there. We don't know enough about it. And Mulk. Look, I'm not going to say no on Mulker, but like the only reason we would do that is if we had a lot more stuff to talk about, and we just use that as an excuse to talk because, that's not going to really tell us much about politics, the rest of the politics. So.
The only thing about Mulker that's going to be kind of funny is that, Labor's probably going to win that seat, and so that means that from whatever they had 4 seats after the election, Labor are going to end up on 6 after 2 by-elections, and yet their position structurally hasn't really improved, or politically, within the NT. I would argue.
There's only 2 candidates nominated so far. What?
Yeah, it's just an independent and Labor. I think CLP probably won't bother.
That's funny.
All right, we'll see how I feel about the. I don't think we'll do US midterms, but
no, I'm not. I won't do it.
All right. Well, if it's just myself, I'm not gonna.
Yeah. That's my point.
Yeah, exactly. There's already a million American channels that know so much more about me. I mean, I'll be watching it. I'll absolutely be watching it. I'll probably make some comment on it when it happens. But
Yeah.
probably won't be a stream. So,
Yeah.
And yeah, I agree with this person, Graham 02. The results show that One Nation is still in the game. Absolutely, all the stuff that's happened.
Oh, they've been in the game for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I thought maybe they were out of it. Maybe they made too many faux pas. But it seems all the stuff that's happened in the last couple of months, it hasn't really hurt them. So they'll keep on going, and we'll see what happens in Victoria. So thank you for watching, everyone, again, and see you next time. Bye bye.